Hello and welcome everyone to the Nerd Nook. I'm your host, Evan Teague, otherwise known as Mr. Magz here on YouTube, and this is my partner in crime and good buddy, Noah Bailey, otherwise known as Noah Bailey.
That works.
Okay. Okay, cool. So, this podcast is essentially just me and Noah just talking about whatever we want. Um, Usually like me and him would meet up like once or twice a month and just talk about whatever, mostly like movie trailers, movie reviews, like just everything in nerd culture that happened in the previous weeks. And we figured why not just turn it into a podcast? So that's what we're going to do. Um so without further ado, let's start off with our first category of topics are our cinematic 2 cents. So, for all of you who are looking forward to our Black Panther review, that'll be later. Noah hasn't seen it yet, and he has to actually get out of here in about 2 hours, and that movie alone could take
Days.
that review alone could take more than 2 hours, not including all the tangents we would take while talking about it. So, in the meantime, let's talk about something that's arguably more important, that Incredibles 2 trailer.
Mm.
Noah, let's start off with your opinions on that.
I like the trailer a lot. I am okay. I'm super excited. I mean, it's the Incredibles too. So I mean,
Yeah.
like we've been waiting for this for 10 plus years. It's been
Mm-hmm.
talking about, and everyone's back. It's all the same. The animation looks great. The
Mm-hmm.
voices are all good. Everything looks really good. I like the trailer. I like how there's like some progression. You can tell the kids are a little bit older.
Mm-hmm.
Jack's, more doing more than just running around diapers, but like it still feels like it's the same thing. It's not one of those like jump 10 years in the future
Yeah.
movies or something like that. It's still the same level. And I like that a lot because I was worried they were going to do it like, oh, they're all grown up now. And, we don't see how they get there. They're just
Mm-hmm.
there. So I'm glad that we're still along for this journey. And it really opens it up for they can make more movies after this,
Oh yeah.
assuming this movie does amazing, which I mean,
It
it
it's
will.
Pixar.
So it'll be fun. Yeah,
Cars 2 did
they'll be
good.
and that's actually saying something. Yeah.
Like, I personally would have been fine if they had gone the whole like jump 10 years thing, but like the way
Mhm.
they are doing it, it's fine with me.
Oh yeah.
I I honestly wasn't expecting the Underminer to be like a character in this movie. I knew it would take place pretty much immediately after the first one, but I didn't expect it
Right.
to pick like right as the first one was ending, which I'm honestly okay with. Like starting out the movie with one big action scene and then like cuz from what the trailer indicated with Elastigirl was saying like superheroes are illegal, maybe they stop the Underminer and then maybe the government gets mad at them for doing that or something. Like maybe
Yeah.
kind of like a Sokovia Accords type thing where they don't care how many people they saved. They're still they're still illegal. They don't want this to keep happening.
Right. And that's what I was thinking they're gonna go for. And also but then I remember I'm like, but in the first Incredibles, a lot of the superheroes are dead. Like you
Yeah.
remember like Syndrome, like he was pretty much going genocide on
Mm-hmm.
most of these heroes.
Yeah.
So when I think about it, I'm like, oh well, now all these superheroes they can do. But I'm like, oh, there's probably not too many left. There's probably like, I mean, who knows? But
I think
can't be that many.
I think there are going to be a couple of new supers, but
Mhm.
from what we know from the first movie, I think the only ones that are alive from the pre uh was there like a name for
It
like what
was the
happened?
glory days,
Okay.
and like,
Okay. So I think all that are left from the glory days are Mr. Incredible, Elastigirl, and Frozone. Because every other
probably.
one that Mr. Incredible looked up on that database in Syndrome's lair, they were all dead. So,
Yeah, I mean, there was quite a few of them too. Like
mhm.
that's a pretty long thing. It's just like terminated,
Yeah.
terminated. Like,
And on the special features of the DVD, which I have, it actually like has a database, like kind of like Syndrome's layer, like a
oh
database of all of
wow,
them, and it like it's basically like a baseball card of all of them, like all their powers, all their abilities, like their secret identities, and if they're alive or not. And
Mm.
I think it said that Dyna Guy was still alive. That might have been it. I can't really think of many others
Mm.
off the top of my
Like,
head. That hmm?
yeah, I don't. Yeah, That's what I'm saying. So, like, I mean, I guess supers will make a return, but I
Mm,
mean, like, how many is that really gonna be? Like, is it just gonna
yeah.
be like the family and Frozone or whoever
Mm,
else? But I mean, I feel like I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. That's something I am intrigued about because,
yeah.
like, or like, would even, or maybe like, would the other supers even want to like join up with the Incredibles, or like the Incredibles kind of their own thing, or like,
Well, there was that guy in the trailer who essentially, wanted to bring supers back for whatever reason. I don't think he's gonna be the villain, but I think he's essentially going to like cause the villain to be a thing. He's either gonna
right?
make the
He's
villain
gonna,
come out of hiding or like sponsor him in some way without realizing he's a villain. So that could be interesting.
but like, if you see it one way, I was thinking about is like, if they bring supers back, that'll be an excuse to like, bring villains back.
Yeah.
That's like, it has to match up. Crime always
Mm,
does what it does to match
and
up. So like, that's probably something that'll play a role into it. And like, they have to realize the consequences of being supers and stuff like that.
yeah, because that's one thing that wasn't really mentioned much at all in the first Incredibles. How
Right.
like we got what Bomb Voyage, Syndrome. I don't think there were many other like named supervillains in this world. Like
Not really.
I
Like,
more, I kind of got the sense that in this universe, the majority of the supers were just really there for cleanup duty. They're really there for like
yeah,
solving like petty crimes, like stopping runaway trains or stopping like getting cats out of the tree or like stop bank robbers.
yeah,
Like they weren't.
stuff like that.
They were like more on like the Batman level of like just patrolling Gotham and like protecting the citizens as opposed to Superman who's protecting like everyone and
Whole
like
world and
yeah
yeah.
and protecting world-ending threats and world-ending villains and stuff. So, but I but yeah, there probably were like big villains that like they were defeated. So I wouldn't be
Mhm.
surprised if we saw more of that.
So, and also like I wonder if like the Undermine, like, do you think the Underminer's gonna have this like backstory somehow related to like the heroes, or just he's just some creepy dude who likes to drill stuff? Like, I don't feel like I
He's
want to know if he has a backstory.
he's that's gonna be my prediction. That's just gonna be like the first 10 minutes of the movie. They're gonna beat the Underminer and that's it. Like they're not gonna really delve into his plot at all. Maybe like they'll send him to jail and then like the villain, like the big villain or whatever of the movie will like break him out at the end, like
Okay.
or but I don't think he'll be an integral part of the plot. Like if like the majority of the stuff that took place in the trailer happened after they took out the Underminer. So
Right.
I don't really know if it would make sense to have him be like a major plot point.
Man, yeah, that would, yeah, I don't think he's gonna be like the villain like that. Actually, he's probably just like, or like they can use him kind of like as the opening
Mm,
action scenes to like take him down. And it's like, oh, that was a couple years ago or something like that.
yeah.
Like, I don't know, but we'll
Mm,
see. I go about this because you can do this a lot of ways to make it work really
oh yeah.
well. That's how I like how they set it that way.
One thing that reading the comments, which I should never do, but I did anyway, of the trailer, people are legitimately upset at the fact that it's where people are complaining that it's just the movie is just going to be about Bob taking care of the kids. Which you really think they waited 10 years, over 10 years just to have a movie about
Right.
the superhero taking care of three kids? That's it?
Yeah, I did. I kind of get where they're coming from because in the trailer, I kind of felt that too. I was like, is he really just going to be like raising Jack and like taking kids? Like, I feel like that's going to be a good part of it. I think that's going to be at least like some scenes of that and
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, the struggles of parenting and stuff like that. Be
But
kind of like reverse roles, like the
mm,
mom's out doing stuff and the dad stays home with the kids,
yeah,
and like I think that's going to be a part of it just because of like 2018. But
fair enough.
yeah, I
But
mean,
Brad Bird actually said that that'll just be the B plot. That won't be really significant.
Yeah.
Like, and there were scenes like that in the first Incredibles, like those scenes where Bob was, um, there was that montage of when Bob was training and like kind of
Oh
going doing his
yeah.
secret missions. So that was a good like maybe 10 minutes of the not 10, maybe like good 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
So
And that was honestly a really enjoyable scene. Like just when they have just like the music going and he's
mhm,
like working out and he gets the new car like that. That's one of the best parts of the movie for me.
yeah. So I could really see this like the Mr. Mom type thing that they're going for with Bob. I could really see that only being like maybe 15 minutes max. I don't really think it'll be like a super significant part, especially if the overarching villain or villains is slash are like actually significant and actually are like a threat.
Mm-hmm.
They would
I
want the
know.
whole family like fighting together.
I need them all too because I mean, especially I like Jack. Jack. Okay, so what are his powers like? He's got lasers,
Lasers, teleportation, shape shifting,
shapeshifting.
electricity. He can catch on
Dude,
fire.
he's got like all these powers, dude. He's like,
Probably what they're gonna do is, um, this isn't like a new concept. It might have been actually kind of new at the time in 2006, but like is not really new nowadays.
mm,
Where a baby is a baby of two supers, like doesn't really like know what his powers is, and then like as it's
right.
growing, it, like kind of as it
His
grows, it
powers
like
come to
gains a
build
bunch of
as he
powers
gets
and like
older.
it gets some unstable or whatnot. So
Yeah,
probably
that's
by
kind of like
yeah,
Sky High. You've seen that movie?
mm-hmm,
Kind of like
yeah.
how that happened. Like at first he didn't have any powers, then oh, I've got both power.
All of
Like
the
yeah, it's
powers.
gonna be kind of like that. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think I'm gonna go tonight. Mm.
And I wouldn't.
Mm-mm. Okay. My stomach just still feels really bad. Okay, I hope you feel better. Thanks. I'm gonna be working on stats work here though. Okay. Sorry, but yeah, but I mean, yeah, it's gonna be a good night. Like he starts out because they thought he didn't have any powers, and he has all the powers because.
And I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the movie he just had a single power, like maybe just laser vision, or maybe just shape shifting, or maybe just a power that he doesn't even like have now.
Interesting. Like he like loses his other like powers and just focuses on just only having one.
Yeah, like as he grows up, he'll like mature and get just set on a single power.
Okay. Interesting.
Mm.
Okay, which one would you want him to get though?
Um, let's see. The other Incredibles have strength, speed, invisibility, and stretchiness. So if we're going off of the Fantastic Four parallels, he's gonna turn silver and surf on air, and be,
Or be fire?
or oh yeah, he could be fire. Yeah, I guess
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
he'll be fire.
I think he's gonna be a shapeshifter. I think that would make the most
Yeah,
sense, especially like a little kid. He could like imagine him like going to preschool and like turn into a monster and scare the other kids or something, or like
that would be funny.
I could see that something like that happen. Like
Mm.
like Jack, no eating the other kids. And
And
like the
I don't understand why people were like so upset at the fact that at what on the B plot of this movie, because one probably my favorite line from the trailer and something that was so relatable was when when Bob was trying to help Dash with his homework. And
Mhm.
Dash was like, "We don't do it that way. We need to do it this way." I don't know that
Right?
way. Why would they change
Why
math?
they changed it? And that is so true. Because I mean, I from personal experience, I've even from like fourth grade math has changed
Mm-hmm.
in fourth grade. It's totally different now. And I'm just like, why would you change how to divide? It's like, no, we use the boxes. And I'm like, but why don't
What?
you just use the like
What
what's the
happened to
long
the
division?
house?
Like what
What
is
happened to
this?
the house? Like it makes so
Yeah,
much sense.
exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It made so much, and they just change. I don't know why they do it, but I mean, it happens all the time. It's
I mean,
so
maybe if you learn that way, it makes sense. But considering we learned the house way,
right.
like just like why boxes? This is so much easier. But
I don't I don't know. I just because it's like, these fourth graders are telling me how to do math. I'm like, you don't have to tell me how to do this stuff. I know
I
what
have
I'm
a
doing.
calculator. Thank you very much.
It's like I have a degree. It's like, I'm in college. You don't have to tell me how to like I don't know. But yeah, that was really relatable because I
Mhm.
mean that every parent probably has been
Oh
there
yeah.
if you've ever probably done homework with your kids and
Oh
like
yeah.
I don't know. Okay, so last they were in elementary and Dash was in elementary school and Violet was in middle school.
Yeah. Really?
So do you think
Was she not in high school?
yeah, no, I think I remember she was in middle school. I remember because like it was like when they drove past her house, her school at the beginning. It was like something middle school or something, whatever the
Okay,
town's
so it
called.
might have been like a K-8 school maybe with both of them, or
Yeah, maybe, probably. Oh, it was actually different schools. I remember it was different
okay.
schools. So
It's been
so
like
I don't know.
it's been over a year since I've seen it, so I don't remember
Yeah,
everything.
I
But
brought it. I actually rewatched it. I think it was last weekend, just
Mhm.
because it's a great movie. Why not? I found it. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Although Dash was on the track team,
This
what
is true.
what middle school has a track team?
That is true. I see that. That's where kind of like the movie kind of. Because
Yeah,
yeah, I mean they don't really have. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know. Well, I know middle schools have track team, but like elementary school, I don't remember having
yeah.
any track team. But
I
or
don't
like sports in general.
in my elementary school. Yeah, there was like a county-wide soccer team and like a county-wide basketball team, but there wasn't like a school by
School
school.
team, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, I
County.
guess
Wow, I didn't.
I guess they just
I think maybe. I mean, he is pretty fast. I mean, maybe he made county. Like, who knows?
maybe
Yeah. I
maybe
just love. It's like, wait. It's like, go, go, go. Wait, no, slow down, slow. It's like, go for a
second place,
second.
second place. I love the parent right next to them is like, what are you? Why are you telling your kid
Yeah,
this?
they're just like, what are you doing? Like, such a good scene.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited for this movie. I
Oh
think
yeah,
this is. But the only thing is, like all the little kids are gonna be like, "Oh, The Incredibles! What's this?" Yeah, yeah. It's like,
stay home,
no, sit back.
stay
Yeah,
home.
I'm watching this movie.
Let the big kids enjoy their thing for the first weekend. Then you can.
Exactly. Right? Give us time, and then now you can go see it. Like, we need this. This was made for us, not you.
Yeah. Which is honestly one thing I'm a little bit worried about, just conceptually, is that I'm kind of afraid that they're making this movie for a slightly younger demographic and not for the fans of the original who have been there all like 10 plus
Mhm.
years. But I
Yeah.
understand why, like, if you're making a movie, you want it to, you want it to be seen by as many people as possible. So you want to,
Right.
but I just don't want it to be dumbed down at all because, like, we discussed before, the first Incredibles movie is dark. Like I didn't realize how dark this movie was until
Oh
I saw it
yeah.
like last year.
Oh yeah. No. Like a lot of. I mean, like we talked about. It's like a lot of people get wasted in that movie. Like, and you see it.
Yeah, and like I didn't
Like,
understand.
it's
I didn't
pretty rough.
understand that um, Elastigirl was suspecting Bob of having an affair until like last year.
Right.
It's like I didn't. That has never even
Yeah. It's
crossed my
like,
mind.
oh, for being a hero, she's mad because she thinks he's cheating on this family. Like, oh God. Like, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's one of those things where it's like you come back later and you're like, oh yeah, that's crazy, and like yeah. So see the thing is though, I feel like it's not gonna be like, oh man, now that we're older, it's still kind of a kids movie because I feel like, I mean, when was the last like Pixar movies generally are like they're good for everybody because
Hmm.
like I mean like adults aren't just like, oh, okay, let me just take my kids this movie. Like there's stuff for the adults
Oh
too,
yeah,
like for the older people. Because like
like
I mean, because even now watching the older movies, like Toy Story 2, you're not just like, oh, this is a kids movie. You're
mhm.
like you're engaged.
Yeah. I mean, Cars too, but still.
Okay, well, there are exceptions. Good ones
And
though. The
even
good ones though.
and even kind of Finding Dory to an extent. Like I like that movie, but it wasn't no Finding Nemo. It wasn't.
Oh no, it's not. I mean, it's not as good as the first one, no. But
Yeah.
and that's what I'm kind of worried. The Incredibles too, because like I mean, Finding Dory didn't come out too long. It came out like what 2 years ago, I think, something like that.
2016, I think. Yeah.
So I mean, it's fairly recent. It's like,
Might have been
it
2015.
wasn't bad.
Might have been 2015.
Hold on.
I think they took a year off
Let's
in 2016
let's see.
because The Good Dinosaur and Finding Dory were in the same year.
26. It says June 2016. So
Okay.
so yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's been recently. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's it hasn't been too long, obviously, and like they're gonna make this movie. So I don't think it's gonna be like a whiff by any means,
Oh yeah.
but it might not be as great as everyone's expecting,
But at the
which
same
I would
time,
love it to be, but I don't know.
like The Incredibles is like I say arguably, but it just is the best Pixar movie. So saying that you want it to be better than the best Pixar movie is kind of a really high bar to go into a movie with.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like, it's like if it doesn't, go amazing, it's almost
Mm.
a disappointment. So
Yeah, like
like,
that's like people. That's one reason why I kind of feel people complain about Age of Ultron because
mhm.
Avengers is so good. Like it
Right,
knows what it is. It's just it does what it does so perfectly that people went into Age of Ultron with such high expectations that it couldn't possibly meet. And it was a good. I like that movie a lot. I some parts I actually like more than the first Avengers, but it just couldn't possibly meet the expectations that people had for it. Same thing with Last Jedi. Same thing with many other sequels like that.
mm,
So,
it's what right.
and like, I get it.
There,
Like this movie is a lot of people's childhoods. Like this is one of my favorite movies of all time, mainly because I saw it when I was like 10 years old, or
yeah,
probably before
it's just
then.
like, oh my gosh,
So to wait all
it's
this
just like
time and for it not to be good, which is going to be good, like that's not even a question.
I'm gonna like
But
it regardless. But I mean,
like, I would prefer it to be the best movie it can possibly be. But I I think it will be. There definitely some concerns about it not necessarily catering to the right audience, you know?
yeah, yeah, and I mean that goes without saying sometimes. But at the same time, it's like I mean, work really well because I mean it's the same people writing it, so you don't have to worry about they're changing everything, and
Yeah.
it's the same. I mean, and it's not going to throw because it's all the same voices that won't throw you off and
Mm-hmm.
all this stuff. So I mean, I'm not expecting this movie to be pretty darn good. Like I mean, will it be better than the first one?
I don't know.
Maybe not. I don't know. We'll
I'm
see. But
I personally am not going into this movie expecting it to necessarily be better than the first. I'm just going in hoping to have a good time watching an Incredibles movie, which is
I
honestly
think that's going to happen.
what I feel people should go into most movies with, like a Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Just go in expecting a good movie. You won't be disappointed, even though
No.
many people were because they were expecting too much. Same thing with pretty much every Marvel movie, every superhero movie. Period. Everything you're attached to. Don't expect so much out of it. You'll be disappointed regardless. Just so many people
They
fall
just
victim to that.
Yeah, I know. And it's just like, oh man, I had this movie up here and it's here and they destroy the movie. Oh,
Yeah.
it's terrible. It's horrible. This movie was atrocious. And it's like, man,
I am so sorry. The Last Jedi is the third best Star Wars movie. Like, oh my gosh.
I mean,
Maybe even second.
so
I
what's the
don't.
other? I'm gonna say, what's the other one you have ahead of it?
Maybe Return of the Jedi. Maybe like, or
Okay, all
I don't
right.
know. It's a top like. I personally feel in my heart that I like the Last Jedi more than Force Awakens and Return of the Jedi, but I could see arguments for either of those being better. So I'm just saying it's third.
I'm I'm gonna stick with two personally
Okay,
because I mean
yeah,
I
like
think
I said, I feel that way,
two,
but just
yeah,
in general,
and
I
I
feel
right for next year when the trilogy's over, I think everyone's going to start coming to a consent. Because like right now, everybody's just mad because their theory didn't work. You know, oh, what? Rey's not a Skywalker. She's not a
Oh
Kenobi. What?
no.
This movie sucks. Like
People didn't like Empire when it came out, and it's the best Star Wars
exactly.
movie.
I mean, that's and now in hindsight, everyone sees that. But at
Yeah.
the time, you know, oh, this is terrible. The good guys lose. That's not how you do a
Oh
movie.
no.
It's I mean, people don't know what they want until later, and they're like, "Hey, this wasn't so bad." Like, you
Yeah.
know, give it time, give it
Mhm.
time.
Which I really hope people just kind of take that mindset into account when watching Incredibles. Like, just go in, have a good time, watch it for the movie it is. Don't expect anything. Just don't have any theories. Don't expect the world out of this movie. Don't expect it to blow you away or anything. Just watch a good movie. Is that too much to
Yeah,
ask?
no, I mean, and it's gonna be a good movie as long as you're not expecting it to be the greatest movie you've ever seen,
Mhm.
and it'll be great.
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
yeah,
you just gotta set your standards low, and that's the thing. People set their standards through the roof all the
Mhm.
time now. It's ridiculous.
yeah. Like
Like,
Incredibles is like here. People want the movie to be here, like
exactly.
off my
You know,
screen.
like it's just like I want this movie to make me cry and like drop out of school and join and be incredible for real. Like,
If you want to watch a movie that
uh,
makes you cry, watch Coco. Like that. That is
oh goodness.
that's a movie right there.
Okay, it made you cry. Is it that
It
serious?
made my brother cry. Like I actually came kind of close, but like which
Okay,
I never cry in movies. Like
right. But it's I gotta check that out. I'm gonna add that to my movie list
yeah,
because I got some high praise for it. So I'm gonna add that to
Mhm.
my list. I'll probably check that out this weekend or something.
like like probably top five Pixar movie. Which I mean,
Okay, that's a pretty good company in there.
yeah, like it's there with the Toy Story twos and the Monsters Inc. Like it's like
Oh
maybe
man.
four or five. But we'll probably at some point do like a top 10 Pixar movie list if there's like a
Oh
slow
man.
week or something. Well,
But it'd be like you have that at three. What?
what? That should be at least number two.
Like if it's not in your top two, don't talk to me. Like,
I
yeah,
mean, for the record,
we'll get there. We'll get there.
I am kind of like that when it comes to Empire. Like, if Empire is not at least in your top two, like, why are you even here? Like, don't talk.
If it's my thing is okay, I understand there's a difference between favorites, one's the best,
Mm,
and like with that, I think Return of the Jedi is my favorite one,
that's fair.
the best movie. I understand that,
Mm,
but it's like if you're talking about straight up, which is to go Empire. If you don't go Empire, you're not trying. You
yeah.
haven't seen it.
Like you can like the Force Awakens or Return of the Jedi. Like you can say that's your favorite. That's fine.
Yeah, it's
Just
cool,
as
but I
long as
mean,
you admit that the Empire Strikes Back is the better movie.
but as long as you know, that's all that matters.
Yeah. Okay, so are we done talking about Incredibles, or is there anything else you want to talk about?
I think we're good for now. I think we're good.
Oh, one more question. So there was a fan theory. I know I just said don't go into movie theories, but there was one theory,
Okay.
um, before the movie came out that Syndrome would return for this movie. Do you think that would
No,
actually happen? No.
no.
Yeah, like
Okay. Like, dude got sliced up in the engine and it blew up.
only
Like
a
you
little,
don't, no one lives from it.
only a little.
No, I mean, like, I know how they're like, oh, some bad guy never died, but no one lives through that. Like
Yeah.
there's would like have them take a minute to get back from that. I mean,
Yeah.
hours. So
Yeah, especially if there are a lot of other new villains for this movie.
and
He's
I
not
think they
he's
will.
not necessary.
No. Yeah, I mean, I feel like they'll probably reference him here and there, like you don't want this to end up like another syndrome, but like you know how that works either.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he's definitely dead. Like there's no
Oh yeah.
chance.
He's very dead.
Yeah, he's well done.
Like
Like that's a
if there were a list of like the most dead villains in movie history, he'd be top 10.
up there. He's up there definitely. It's like
He's
you definitely died.
like he's the most dead.
I mean, like he died theoretically at least twice, if not three times. Because first he gets sliced in half, like sliced
Yeah.
into how many pieces? I mean, that's instant kill.
And those
Gets blown up.
yeah.
no powers, and then if all else fails, he probably he's on fire if he's somehow still alive. So I mean, it probably burns to death or
And then he would have
falls from
fallen. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, dude, I mean he's done. Like there's no chance.
Mm.
But
Okay. So I know I said we're not going to be talking about Black Panther per se in this
okay,
episode, but did you hear that Black Panther is breaking all the records?
yeah, oh yeah,
It got number one in pre-movie sales, beating out
oh yeah,
BVS. Thank goodness.
yeah. I mean, like no, this movie is gonna it's got all the records all sold out.
Mhm.
That's one of the other reasons I didn't see it. It was already all the tickets were sold out before I even got to the theater.
Wow.
The showing it was like 4:30 showing sold out, 6 showing sold out, 7:30. So like all like 3D standard, everything was gone.
So
I
you
was
would
just
you
like,
would have seen it
man,
if they weren't sold out, right?
probably yeah, but it's like I mean there was no way like
That's fair.
but it was I mean but no I mean these people I think it's targeting as all Marvel movies already have quite a large audience.
Oh yeah.
You add in kind of like that African American demographic, and it just like I mean
Oh yeah.
it gets everybody.
Oh yeah. And like it's not there are some movies that are very exploitative. Yeah. In how they like cast people and how they frame movies. This I feel like it wasn't that at all. It
No,
it definitely like kind of took the culture of what you would imagine like an African nation to like kind of like especially music wise. Like it's not exploitative at all. Like it does everything it's trying to do very well and does it justice. So that's you'll definitely like it.
yeah, yeah.
It all Black Panther also I think had the second highest um Friday to Monday like attachment rate or whatever
Oh,
of any movie period since Force Awakens. I think. Yeah. Yeah, since Force Awakens it had the highest Friday to Sunday.
dang. Yeah, so
Yeah.
everybody's seen it. Yeah, I mean, because yeah, it's huge. We've been
Mhm.
talking about this movie for how long? I mean, we've been talking about Black Panther movies since he showed up in Civil War.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Which
like
which
every
kind of has he kind of has the Wonder Woman effect where like it was probably the studio's best decision period to put them in that movie with the other characters. That way when they get their own
right,
movie you're excited.
right,
Now,
yeah, yeah,
granted, Wonder Woman was the best part of that movie and Black
this is
Panther
true.
was just another part of that movie, but still
Right,
you were excited to see him in his own movie.
right,
So,
and it's a character that was really unique because I mean, Black Panther, I mean, wasn't really a known
mhm.
Marvel superhero. I mean, this guy is. I mean, like Iron Man before the Iron Man movies come out was like
Oh yeah.
kind of. But and now Iron Man's like the second person you think of when you think Marvel, like
Mhm.
other than like Spider Man.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's like Black Panther. It's like, oh yeah, Black Panther, of
Yeah,
course. But
I love Black
like you
Panther.
ask anybody 5 years ago who Black Panther is, they're like, isn't that like a racial group or something like that? It's like, no, the superhero. Like, oh,
Which did Black Panther come out before that movement was a thing?
yeah. Okay, so here, let me go a history lesson real quick.
Okay.
So I looked this up because pretty much he was called Black Panther before the movement started,
Hmm.
but once it started getting serious,
Yeah.
the Black Leopard to scarce association with that, and obviously to not be connected.
Yeah.
And then they change it back after the movement kind of died out. So that's one of the reasons a lot of people haven't heard of him too, because like his history, he goes by more than one name.
Okay. So
I've
Black
never
Black
heard of
Leopard,
him.
you said? Okay.
Yeah. So according to my sources, that's what
Hmm.
it is. But yeah, I mean that's why he's one of the lesser known. But yeah, he's definitely wow. He's been around before the movement.
Okay. Okay. Um one thing that was kind of interesting about my showing of this movie was there wasn't a trailer for Incredibles 2 or Avengers Infinity War
During the movie?
before the movie.
Really?
Yeah,
I
like
think
this.
it's
I kind of feel like this was their last chance to really push that trailer of Infinity War before the next trailer comes out. And the Incredibles 2 trailer just came out, and then I thought, oh,
right.
they released
They're
it.
definitely playing that, you know.
Yeah, I thought they released it like so right before Black Panther, so that they could show it at that movie. But maybe it's maybe it's just like a regional thing because I know some movies don't show the same trailer for all of
Hmm.
them. But like there was an Avengers trailer before Star Wars,
Oh yeah.
and there was an Ant-Man trailer. So why was Ant-Man a movie that's coming out after Avengers there, but not Avengers? That just kind of confused me a bit.
Maybe they just, I mean, you know, maybe they wanted to be like, look, I know you're excited for Infinity War, but like, just let's worry about Black Panther. Like, let's focus on Black Panther right now. Because I mean, he is in that trailer too.
Mm,
So I mean, it's like, you know, let's get to Black Panther first, and then we'll get to it. Well, like, you know, it's like, dessert's coming, but let's warm up first. You know,
that's fair.
let's.
Okay. Okay. Again, maybe when you see it, where whenever you see it, you'll have
Hmm.
that trailer. But
We'll
oh, it was just
see.
kind of weird because I was like expecting it, and then when the movie started, I'm like, oh, I don't get to see that trailer again. Oh well,
Like, oh, I mean, it's not. You see it again like 40 times, but you
it'll.
know, it's fine.
And luckily
And play, do you remember?
There was no Pacific Rim trailer, so I still
Really?
don't have a reason to see that movie. You had a chance.
Is John Boyega not enough?
Like like I said, like um it, if that trailer had played before the last when we had seen Star Wars together, I probably would be excited. But since I haven't seen that trailer in a while, I'm just not really excited right now.
It's like, you know, it's not, you're not feeling it now. There's still time. There's still time.
There's still time, yeah. Like it looks fine. Also, I haven't seen the first one, though I don't really think you need to see the first one in order to understand
Nah,
it,
I
but
don't think
still
so.
like we're gonna talk about this a little bit later, but like Transformers are kind of like in my wheelhouse of things I like.
Mhm.
And giant robots fighting giant aliens and or other robots is like objectively really cool. So this
Yeah,
should be like a movie I'm really excited for, but for some reason I just don't really care. Yeah,
just
I'm just kind of eh. Like
eh.
if I saw it good, like if it was playing in the theater on campus, I would probably go see it. But I'm not. I don't know if right now I'm in a place where like I would want to spend $12 at a movie theater just to see this movie. You know?
So yeah, I feel that. Just like, you know what? I'm not too worried
Yeah.
about that. Like, yeah, I
Plus,
feel that.
there are what 6/8 other movies I'm probably gonna see this year.
A lot this year. I'm really like this year. There's a lot of movies that I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
marking my calendar. We're going to see
Hmm.
that Friday.
Yeah. Like.
Especially when school, like right around May, man, that's when it starts really happening. Oh my goodness, it's
uh,
so close.
yeah. Uh, yeah. 3 giant movies coming out in May alone.
My goodness. So, I mean, you got it's
Oh,
huge, man, and it's
and I realized at the end of the Incredibles 2 that movie is coming out the week of E3. So so like
oh,
they're gonna announce all of these amazing great games and other gaming related stuff,
right,
and then you just build that hype up and then go straight into Incredibles.
right. It's just
That's
like, yeah, oh man, yeah, because E3
it's a good
is
time to be a
what
nerd.
E3 is what in I know it's in what June, I
June,
think.
I think it's June 11th. Let me
Let me
check.
see.
Yeah, June. Well, it technically, I think EA's conference is on the 9th, and then
Okay,
it goes through the 14th. I think that sounds right.
okay, cool. So, all right, so yeah, it's gonna be right around that time. So yeah, that's gonna be
Me exciting.
hopefully, you know, we hear yeah, we hear hopefully hear a release date for a certain Square Enix game or Square Enix game that
May,
may or may
that
not
may
have been waiting for
that may or
10
may not
plus years.
exist.
May or may not. I don't know. I mean, at this point, if it's real, I mean, they have. I mean, they if
Probably.
it's not real, long to get to.
Oh, um, considering the fact that Incredibles is coming out the week of E3, and there
Mhm.
probably will be a Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer, do you think there will be an Incredibles world in Kingdom Hearts?
Would love it if there was. Like I
Mm,
would lose my mind.
yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. Because I mean, I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see. Because I mean, you think about all the worlds we have. We already have Tangled. We've got Monsters Inc. We've got Toy Story. You know, we got
Mm,
Hercules. It's like, and you know that there's all these rumors about Big Hero 6 is more than likely going to be in it. And you know,
Frozen.
like
Frozen's gonna be
yeah,
there.
Frozen. You know, and like you know that starts adding up. You know, and it's
Mm,
like I don't. Kingdom Hearts never. I mean, it never had. I mean, it had a good number of worlds. But it was never like more than like you know that 10, 15 range. So I mean there's a good chance, but I don't know. It depends on how many they decide to bring back too.
mm. I mean, it is on next gen systems, so I would hope it would expand quite a bit from the first two. Like,
That
I would
is
hope it have,
true. That whole new open world style. Because I mean,
yeah.
and the other games, you obviously couldn't, you know, just jump off a mountain and just, you know, fall for, you know.
Mm,
So I guess we'll have to see. I think right now I'd say yes, just because
mm.
it would make sense not to.
I, I just
It
kind
would
of
make
feel
sense
like,
not to.
considering how how much Disney likes to advertise things, I kind of feel like Disney would be kind of dumb to not essentially make Square Enix put Incredibles world in there, considering
Right.
the movie is coming out and like it'd be free advertising for them.
Yeah, that's true. And like, yeah, I mean, it's yeah, and like it makes sense because like I mean that's one of like the more action-packed
Mm,
Pixar movies as well. So I mean it would make a lot of sense.
yeah, and I mean, giving Sora superpowers wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing either.
Yeah, I'm like you, yeah, or like you know you get like a cape or like tights or something, wear a mask. I don't know, or maybe
Yep.
I don't know.
No
I'd be
capes.
excited to see
No
how they
capes.
do that. Okay,
No
that would actually be a cool. That would actually be a cool scene. Like he's like, oh, you're okay. And she's like, no case, and
and
then
then we'll just
you know,
jumps out of nowhere and just no capes.
yeah, like whoa. I would really hope they do that. I don't know if they will,
Mm,
but I mean, I would be very hyped if they
yeah.
did.
If there is an Incredibles world, that needs to be a scene.
Oh, definitely, definitely. That needs to be a scene as well as like I don't I'm so ready for just like even in the last trailer, like the whole like Mike Wazowski, like that
Mm,
alone, that I mean that killed me. I love that. You can
mm.
tell they were putting so much into this game.
Oh
So
yeah,
like I mean, it's coming out this year,
maybe,
supposedly.
maybe.
So I mean, maybe I don't know. Like I don't know. From I've heard that likely like actual release date's probably going to be like around Christmas this year.
Yeah, like that'll be
So
because Square Enix likes to release games for some reason after Black Friday. That's when Final Fantasy 15 came out the week after Black Friday. So
yeah,
that spot could be for Kingdom Hearts, I guess.
well, I'm thinking, yeah, and like and that game. I mean, that game's going to sell so quick. I mean that
Yeah.
like this. I've never pre-ordered a game in my life, but
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when I might have to.
That's fair. Okay. Do you know what time it is?
I'm the,
It's time for Hey, who said that? Incredibles edition.
oh,
Now,
okay. So it's
um,
what? Okay, let's go.
this segment is a little mid-show game show type thing where I pull quotes from IMDb and make Noah guess who said them. Um, so this will be all of these will be lines from the first Incredibles movie. So, are you ready?
Bring it on.
Okay. So, first up, next time you gamble, bet on your own life. Is that Elastigirl
Oh,
or Mirage?
oh, it's Mirage. Yeah, I didn't know her name. I knew exactly who it was. Yeah,
Nice.
I remember. Yeah,
You saw the movie recently, you said, didn't you?
yeah, I saw it about 2 weeks ago. So
Dang
yeah,
it.
I should be. I hope I'll do pretty good with this.
Oh well. Still, we'll be fine. Um, I
Oh,
don't
I
have
might
any
remember.
of the like really known references. I don't have Where's My Super Suit or anything like that. I have more or less obscure ones. Um,
Let's see what I can do.
okay. I'm not happy, Bob. Not happy. Gilbert
Ooh,
Huff or Edna Mode.
it's Gilbert. That's the boss, right?
Yeah.
Gilbert's the boss or whatever.
Mm,
The guy who throws through like 4,000 cubicles and like,
yeah.
yeah. Oh my gosh, it's such a good scene.
Oh yeah.
The company is like an enormous clock, and he's just like, oh
We're
my
supposed
god.
to be helping our
Like,
people.
right? Yeah, and like you know that guy. It's like, oh my goodness, dude.
Yeah.
He's like 4 feet tall.
Such a good like. I love how that voice actors is a staple in every Pixar movie. Such a good voice. Okay, next up, just like old times, huh, Bob? Is that Frozone or Rick Dicker? He's the lawyer person who looks like Tommy Lee Jones.
Okay. Oh gosh. Oh, he does look like Tommy Lee
Yeah.
Jones. That's what I was thinking of. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I want to say Frozen, but I don't think that's right. So I'm gonna say, what's his name? Rick Dickers or
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
It was
Okay, I'll
Frozone.
say him.
It was Frozone.
Yeah. Okay. That was. I was expecting that to be a
Yeah.
trap. So
And
yeah,
this
I was
this
like,
one
yeah.
actually was a trap because there's a scene when Rick is getting on an elevator and it's like maybe we
Right.
should relocate you just like old times or something like that. It'll be
Yeah.
just like the
That's
old
what I
days.
was.
So,
That's what I was thinking. But I was like, he got me. That was good. That was good.
yeah, I'm not sure when this was said by Frozone, but it was according to IMDb.
Yeah.
It was Frozone.
Yeah. And I mean, there's plenty of times in the movie would have been like probably like the fire scene or something like that.
Probably. Okay. Hey, no force fields. Elastigirl
Oh,
or
that's
Dash?
Dash.
Dash. Okay.
That's Dash. Running around slapping her.
Uh,
You started it.
You're late. When you asked me if I was doing anything later, I didn't realize you had forgotten. Frozone or
Elastigirl.
Elastigirl? Oh, okay.
That's Elastigirl at the wedding at the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No matter how many
That
times.
was such a good like.
Go
Oh,
on.
sorry.
No, go on.
Okay, no, I just thought that was a good part. Like, like how they did that, like at the beginning. It's
Mhm.
like, oh yeah, they act like they like kind of know each other. It's like, oh, he's getting there. It's like, oh crap, that's what's her face.
Yeah.
Like, because like the first time I saw that, I was like, wow, that's you. I was like, dang.
I was almost kind of confused the first time I saw it.
Yeah, I was like, I thought they were, oh man, like I was like, do they know about? I'm like, yeah, they do. And I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be kind of like a Mr. and Mrs. Smith, where it's like they didn't like know that each other was like heroes or whatever. And it's like, oh my gosh,
they knew. Okay. No matter how many times you save the world, it always manages to get back in jeopardy. Sometimes you want it to just stay saved. Mr. Incredible or Elastigirl?
that's Mr. Incredible
Yeah.
because that's at the beginning with the interviews, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I like this mess. I mean, get it just for 5 minutes. Such a good scene.
Oh yeah. We act normal, Mom. I want to be normal. The only normal one here is Jack Jack, and he's not even trained. Dash or Violet?
One of the kids. Oh crap, it's both. Okay. That's Violet because she sounds like she wanted to be normal. Dash was kind of he loved his powers.
Okay, yeah. You caught me monologuing. Bon voyage or syndrome?
Syndrome.
Yeah.
That's so funny. So true. And it's like, because like if I was a bad guy, like I'd say that because like, oh, I'm a nerd. That's the oldest trick in the book. Like,
you sly dog.
And I like Syndrome because like he's like the nerd that becomes the bad guy, so he knows all the tricks. So he's very like he's a hard villain because he's read probably every comic book and seen every story. So it's like,
There's actually a fan theory that Syndrome is Bob's illegitimate kid.
What?
Read up. It's on Reddit or somewhere. It's kind of interesting. There's actually it actually makes way too much sense.
Okay, wait. Who's the mom?
I don't know.
Is it like we don't know?
We don't know.
It's not noted, but it's not important.
Someone else like.
Oh my god.
It.
Mr. Incredible. I mean, I guess, but I mean, well, I mean, I guess it's possible.
I mean, it wouldn't really like add to the story, but like it'd be
Yeah,
like
I
a
would.
cool thing if they
Yeah,
just confirmed it.
right. It's just like, that's
Mm. Okay, two more. Pull yourself together. What will you do? Is this a question? Edna mode or
that's
Elastigirl? Okay, yeah.
that's Edna mode.
When she's
You
bopping
are
Elastigirl over the head with.
Elastigirl. My God, pull yourself together.
Yeah.
Slaps her with the newspaper.
Yeah. I
Love
tried to
that.
like, I tried to only single out quotes that wouldn't necessarily
Hmm.
like,
They could be used in more than one way.
yeah, yeah.
And
They
so forth.
don't
Yeah.
like this has to be said by this person, like, because essentially everything to the right and left of that quote would like signify like this is Edna mode. So
Right.
maybe the easiest one on here. I wanted to go bowling. Dash or Frozen.
Oh, not Cinder, but Frozen. I'm about to
Yeah.
say the wrong name. That's me anytime my friends like go do something stupid. It's like I just wanted to go to the movie. It's like
I just wanted to go bowling. How do we end up here?
yeah, like yeah, it's like guys, how did we end up like in the middle of nowhere, no cell phone service? Like I just wanted to go watch a movie, but no, we had to do all this.
No, you had to drive.
That's what I'm saying. You know, like we had to go back for it. It was so important. But we've all been there. Like, it's you've either been that person or you've been the person who drags your friends into that situation.
Yeah. Usually I'm the first one.
Oh my goodness. Same.
Okay. Now, on to the next segment. What is Disney up to now?
Taking over the world.
Pretty much. You know what's funny? These cookies, the serving size is 2.
Yeah, because people eat 2 cookies.
I eat that by accident. Like, how? 2? Really?
Like that's all?
There's 24 cookies in this thing, and like, these cookies are so small. Like, how?
Oh,
How do you expect me to
serving size
just
are a
eat
joke
2?
these days.
Like, after I eat a couple, I put 2 together and like eat them as a sandwich. Like, how?
Right.
That's
You
one
know?
serving
It's
size
like,
right there.
right? Or like those sodas where it's like, oh, it's like the bottles, but it's like the like handheld bottle, but it's like, serving like 2.5
Mm-hmm.
per bottle. And I'm like, who's gonna like measure out like
Or like these Pop Tarts. They come in packs of 2. The
right.
serving size is only 1. How do you put the wrap up a Pop Tart? Like,
That's what
how
I'm
does
saying.
that
You
make
can't
sense?
re-wrap a Pop Tart. You have to rip it open. Like if it was resealable, I mean that's one
Yeah.
thing. But I mean,
If it was resealable, I would consider it, but since I can't do that.
No, no, it's like you either go all in or nothing. I mean,
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Okay, so surprisingly, Disney didn't do much this week, but there was talks at there were apparently talks about Disney Disney talking to other studios to make Star Wars games. Did you hear about this?
I actually did not hear about this, but I am intrigued.
The
Interesting.
two they were looking at are Activision and Ubisoft specifically, but also like others within the industry. Which
Okay.
arguably Activision isn't much better than EA. I mean, they are, but they're not like significantly better. They still have a lot
it's
of
not like a huge step up.
they still have a lot of the same crappy business practices. They still have all those dumb loot boxes and yearly releases of Call of Duty and like strict deadlines and stuff. It's
I'm not sure how that's gonna work, but I mean, well, I mean, it might work out. 'Cause, I mean, I'll have to see what they do.
but
I
like
don't know.
theoretically speaking, EA was on paper the best developer to do this because EA has the studio that made KOTOR. They at one point owned the studio that made the original Battlefront games.
Right. Pandemic, right? Something like that.
That sounds right. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, so I remember. Yeah, they went out of business, I think, 2009. But I think, like, yeah, but
like EA bought them and then shut the studio down for no reason.
yeah. And I'm like, I mean, my thing is like, if a game's doing well, why just shut it down? I mean, why not keep
I don't
going?
know.
But
They've already canceled two other Star Wars projects just because. So Activision, like, of course, they're known for Call of Duty. They also publish the
right,
Skylanders games, and Activision does have is actually like part of the same studio that Blizzard is a part of, like the WoW and
hmm.
Overwatch guys.
Mhm. Yeah,
So they could
in a way, I mean,
there's potential for
good.
like a Star Wars MMO or like a Star Wars MOBA or something
Ooh,
like that.
that could get intense. I think that's actually. See, on paper that sounds good, but somehow I don't know how that's gonna work. I don't think they're gonna do it as well as we think they
Oh
are.
yeah, like I don't actually if it is like the Blizzard team making it, if it is the people who made
Hmm.
Overwatch or the people who made World of Warcraft,
Right. That's gonna be intense. Like that's gonna be hype. But
yeah. But I don't know, on pa- just on paper, Activision, just singling out Activision, not Activision Blizzard, or not just Blizzard, just
just
saying
Activision
Activision
specifically,
is just a bit iffy in my opinion. Like,
I'm really skeptical.
yeah, I'm just a bit skeptical about that. Ubisoft, on the other hand, I trust them a lot more because
Mhm.
they have their hands at a lot of different pots per se because they make the occasional shooter, but they also make a lot of open world games like Assassin's Creed, Watch
Right.
Dogs, stuff like that, Far Cry.
I mean, those are some good games too.
Oh yeah, and also a lot of racing games,
Mhm.
RPGs, just action. Like they they can make a bunch of different games, so it's not something like EA where even though they have the rights and they have the studios to make all of these different games, they only make shooters. I feel
Yeah,
if
it's like
Ubisoft had the rights to Star Wars, they could potentially make over like 2 to 3 Star Wars games, like different types of Star Wars games a year, and they actually be good.
right. And like they could be about various points in Star Wars history and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. And that'd be like like or imagine like a role playing like bounty hunter, like the old bounty
Mm-hmm.
hunter games and stuff like that. Like how good that would be. Like now with everything,
Oh yeah.
how far games have come. Like that'd be
Mm-hmm.
amazing.
Now, in an ideal world, Disney would just license a Star Wars game for one studio and just like they would license it per project, not per franchise. Like
Right.
EA having exclusive rights to Star Wars games right now is just a terrible idea. Like, why give them exclusive rights? I never understood it.
I mean, some decisions they make are definitely questionable,
Yeah.
but I
So,
mean, yeah, and that
them shopping around at least for some other options, since there was probably some, there was probably something in the contract of for EA to like only make good Star Wars games, and considering how they've only really made two games in the past 5 years, and they're not that great of quality, they probably broke some clause in their contract. So,
yeah, that's somehow they
mhm.
something, and then Disney's just like so.
Yeah, and
I don't know
because
what.
they broke that contract, Disney is now able to look at other studios to make games. So,
Right. And and honestly, it's probably also because of just like how the Battlefront games have been very underperforming. Because
mhm.
like I mean, especially the first one. I mean, the first one pretty much flopped. I mean, a
Yeah.
lot of. I mean, the game went down like $50 in price within like a
Oh yeah.
month. Like I
Like
mean, it was rough.
it sold really well at first, which just happens with every EA game. Like
Right.
it sells amazingly in its first couple of days, and then after the first week, it just tanks. Like
because people get the game and realize it's not that great,
And they
and
tell
then
all their
other people
friends,
find out
yeah, they tell all their
the
friends, don't buy
grapevine,
this, so no one gets it.
right? It's not worth it, and then
Hmm.
no one's buying it, and it's like okay, and they kind of just nosedive.
You can get Battlefront 2 um,
Mm.
online at Walmart for $30 right now.
$30?
Yeah, so
That's
not worth
not
it. I
bad.
don't
That's
care.
better than definitely not getting it. But no, I mean that's better than the first one because I mean the first one went all the way down to like $9. 60 just coming out to $90 in like a couple months. And I mean I mean pity buy like $9. I'm like fine, I'll take it off your
Yeah,
hands.
like
Like
you're losing money if you don't buy a game like that for $10. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like I mean the game I mean just came out not too long ago. Like I might as well just got a PS4. Like I sure why not?
granted, at the
I'll
same
take it.
time, I can go in the Steam store and get the original good Battlefront 2 for 10
Oh my
bucks.
gosh. This is true. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And
So
like
like,
I didn't even realize that I didn't even realize that Battlefront 2 was on Steam until like it popped up for like sale for Battlefront 2 for 10 bucks. I'm like, okay. Like, yeah.
you're like, why not? Like, yeah, I mean, it's a great game. And, like, and the old one, because I have my PS2 still. I mean, it time, but yeah, I mean, I found one of near my house. I found one of these like older like stores called Off the Grid and stuff like that. Those like they have like those old games, like they have an Atari, they have like the original
Ooh,
Nintendo, and it's
cool.
like they have this like whole wall dedicated to PS2 games. They got the old Battlefront on there. They've
Mm,
got like PS2 games. And I'm just like,
nice.
I'd be doing a disservice to the community if I didn't buy like half these
Yeah.
games.
Yeah, I wish
Classic
more
games.
stores did stuff like that.
I know, because I mean, or like at least have like a way to get those games like online, like with
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation Now or something. Because I know they have it for PS3 games, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like, I think PS3
Like,
games, like a lot of PS3 games, you can just get like like the remastered version or whatever on
true.
PS4. Like, there's no way to play a bunch of PS2 games,
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think they could get like the PS4 version of
I
like
mean,
the
I
same old Battlefront stuff.
to an extent, I understand why it doesn't make business sense for Sony or other big publishers to re-release those games because they could just make an updated port or make a remastered version
Right.
and sell it for 60 bucks and then make way more financial
And people would
sense.
buy it.
People would buy it, yeah.
Yeah.
But just nostalgia is a heck of a drug. Like if you release these all these great games on yeah, like on PS Now. Is it PS Now? Is that the streaming service the
Yeah.
PlayStation has? Yeah, you just let people stream these games. Like people would actually want to sign up for that service because right now, like people don't really talk about that service all that much, mainly because there's not that many great games to really play on it.
Got a bunch of stuff on there, but none of the games you're like, oh, I really like this game. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I was just scrolling through and it's like there was nothing I was interested in. I was just like,
Like none of them are
oh.
like bad per se, but they're not just they just don't can't
It's
really put
not
into
that game
words.
you really wanted,
Yeah,
like it's not that like fit, like,
like if you have the service and you see a game, like oh yeah, I would play that. But if you don't have the
yeah.
service, there'd be nothing that make you want to go buy it.
Right, exactly. There's nothing on there. It's like I need to get the service so I can
Mm-hmm.
play this game.
Yeah.
And also like the internet, I mean, also like the connection on there, like it's kind of sketchy when like if
Mm-hmm.
you play at like times where other people are playing. Because I got it over a Christmas break where like everybody's off and stuff and playing games, and like in the day it would just breeze out and like the server is
Oh,
too busy for you to play. And I'm like, I mean,
oh, okay,
I mean, that's, yeah,
sure,
I'm like,
yeah.
that just pissed me off. Like, I don't even want to play anymore. Like, I just wanted, I only have like an hour off, and you're just like, oh yeah, sorry, you can't play the game. I'm just like, screw
Really,
that,
really. and
Yeah,
so
it's terrible.
and Sony bought an entire um I don't know if they're a studio, but like an entire company just because they were good at making stream like good at streaming services,
Mm-hmm.
and
I'm
they, Gaikai, I think we call it Gaikai or something like that.
uh,
And apparently, Sony's PS Now isn't all that great. Like I don't know how you managed to do that. Like
it's
where'd all that
not.
money go?
I don't know. From my experience, I mean, me and my brother got it. From our experience, it was nothing special. It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't really worth the money. I mean,
Mm,
granted, my brother was paying for it, so I didn't mind. But
fair
I
enough.
mean, I was just like, it's all right, you know. I mean, the
Mhm.
only game I found on there that was like really like had the Sly Cooper games, and that was
Oh,
something we used to play the old one. So I was like,
nice.
yeah, I'll play Sly Cooper. But you know, it kept freezing on me, and that's the kind of game where like if it lags, you kind of
Mm,
die. So
yeah.
it was hard to play.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, it was all right. But I don't.
But if
I feel like it has ways to go, definitely.
but if they had Battlefront 2, the original, on there,
Oh,
be
oh my goodness.
bring it
People
back
would
around.
get the service just for that game. Like they wouldn't
Hmm.
even play the other games. Like they would just
Oh
play
yeah,
and like oh my,
and
just
the
imagine like the online presence
mhm,
that would be like if they because you know they had like online mode for PS2, but you know it wasn't that big a deal. It was kind
yeah.
of just but like if they had like the online like the capabilities they have now with the old games, I
Hmm.
mean it'd be over, man. Like everyone would love it.
Oh yeah, and the online actually still works on the PC version. So just bring that model over to to re-release on the console, and there you go. Prince
There
money.
you go. But I mean, yeah. See, and it's like it's easy how like we can think of that. I know there's probably some reason they're not doing it, other than like they just don't want to. But I mean, I don't. I feel like that's something that so many people would like, and like new fans would love it. The
Hmm.
old fans would just lose their minds. Like, you know,
Which
like
makes
it'd
me
be
even
amazing.
more upset at the fact that EA is the one who has the Star Wars rights,
Exactly.
even though they own the whole developer of these games. Like, how does that even make sense?
They just it's like, oh, they want to make it their kind of Star Wars get Battlefront game, and you know, it's pretty much Call of Duty with blasters and stormtroopers
Hmm.
instead of which I mean, yeah, there's like,
Four
oh,
thousand hours of grinding just to play as one character.
yeah,
You know.
and like, I mean, that's for some people. I mean, I guess you get something like an accomplishment, but I mean, at that point, I don't even want to play anymore.
Hmm.
Like by the time I get someone worth playing, I don't even the game. I'm done with the game. Like I don't
Oh,
even want to play.
which that reminds me. So shortly after Battlefront 2 came out, the head of EA had a Reddit AMA where he was answering, fan feedback questions, and I say
Mm.
questions, I mean, reacting to fan anger. Um, and one post he made says something along the lines of, "We want fans to feel a sense of pride and accomplishment for unlocking these characters."
Mm.
That that post is still currently, after 3 or 4 months, still the most downvoted post on Reddit. Just period.
Think about that. It's just like it was like because the reaction is like, no, don't give me that crap. Because like
Don't give me that. Why?
to like it's one thing to unlock characters because like some games like oh secret characters you have to
Mm-hmm.
unlock them and stuff like that. Like that's one thing, but no, none of them are like ridiculously unattainable like that. I mean that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You
Four
can't expect
thousand
someone to
hours just
play the
playing Darth
game.
Maul. I don't think I've
That's what
put
I'm saying. Like you run out of things to do.
I haven't put 4,000 hours in anything collectively.
I don't think I mean 4,000 hours. I mean that.
We could do
Well,
some basic math real quick.
oh, I gotta see the math behind that. I mean, I want to see how many like days that is. Hold on, 4,000. Only 167 days if you round
Yep.
up. And yeah, unfortunately, I don't have. I mean, that's full days. That's no sleep. That's 24 hours of
That's just
going.
plain straight.
So I mean that's essentially if you play like a year straight, like sleeping and eating meals, that's like you'll eventually get Darth Maul.
Yeah. Maybe.
And it's like, yeah, like maybe if you're good, like
Hmm.
not if you're trash. Like I don't even. Oh my god! And like, come on, like you can't expect people to be excited about that. I mean,
Yeah,
they just stay that long just to. I mean,
I
no,
don't,
no.
I don't think so. And I just some basic math. I don't. I'm not 100% confident I have put 4,000 hours collectively into the Pokemon franchise. Collectively, all
That's,
all
I,
7 generations, all the spin-offs, everything. I don't think
I,
I've done all.
I was about to say, I have a feeling you played a lot of Pokemon in your days, though.
I
Like, I mean,
have, but still, that's a what 20-year career of playing one franchise. I'm not confident I put 4,000 hours into this. That's saying something.
that's like a lot. I mean, that's a lot of games. That's a lot of Pokemon. It's
Mm,
like, yeah, probably not. I mean, games too that I know I've put a lot of hours into, but I mean, there's no way I've put in that
yeah,
many. I
I'm putting
mean,
4,000
no,
into a single game. Like, no, that's stupid.
4,000. I mean, that's like I don't even think I put 1,000 into any game. I mean, what?
Maybe
No way.
maybe Pokemon Heart Gold and maybe Pokemon Sapphire. Maybe that's not a stretch.
1,000 though? I mean, that is a
over like over the
lot.
course over the course like multiple playthroughs and whatnot.
Oh, I know, but I'm counting all of that.
Hmm.
Believe me, like I'm
Yeah.
counting like multiple. Like I mean, I have a like I have a couple games that I have like 99 hours and 59 minutes on. Like it's
Hmm.
probably like 100, but I mean, that's only like 2 or 3 games I've ever
Hmm.
played in my life, and I mean that's not even a fraction. Like that's oh my gosh. I mean that I can't even
Yeah.
game you should like that much.
Hmm. So
No game,
just
I don't care.
that alone is why I'm not at all upset at the fact that Disney is looking at other
Oh no.
publishers to make
No,
games. Like
I'm glad about this. Maybe they'll actually do it right. Like, I
you
mean,
should have done
that's
this
not,
3 years ago. Like why are you just
I mean, you should
now
have
like
started with someone else. Like, just don't.
yeah or and especially something like someone like Disney who is so protective of their properties.
Right?
Why would they just blindly trust EA of all people with the most beloved franchise on the planet? Like,
I mean, you know what? I think expecting, hey, EA makes, games, not necessarily good games, but games that do sell. Because I
yeah,
mean,
they make
EA
games that
games
appeal to a wide
sell.
audience, I guess.
Exactly, and putting the name Star Wars Battlefront on literally anything
But the name
was gonna
Star Wars on
sell.
anything is gonna make it sell.
Yeah, I know, but I mean specifically Star Wars Battlefront because I mean people that know the old Battlefront lost it at the beginning. Like they were like, "Yo, this is gonna be the greatest gaming experience of my life," and then you
And
get
it wasn't.
the game. No, it just fell short of
Yeah.
I'd say pretty much everyone's expectations, but
Mm. Like I said, if I were Star Wars, or sorry, if I were Disney, I would be like, okay, EA, you can make a Battlefront game. Make Battlefront 3 for us. Then we'll take
yeah,
it.
that's what
And
I'm saying.
maybe
Like, so good.
and then
What's
maybe
this
go to
thing?
Activision or Ubisoft or some other developer and be like, hey, make this one game for us, and then they'll either keep doing that from now on, or after they see how everything pans out, they'll be like, yeah, you can keep
Yeah,
making
it's
Star Wars for us.
like a one game
Mhm.
prove it deal kind of like all
Yeah,
right, see if you can do this. If you can, we'll give you more to work with, but if not, we're just gonna shut it down, leave it there.
that's how
No
movies
hard
work.
feelings.
That's how movies are supposed to work.
Yeah, and
I
I mean
mean,
that's how it works in movies. That's how it works in sports with a lot of stuff. Like I mean that's just how it works in general.
mhm.
Like if you're not sure of something, you give it a little like it's like a test drive with a car. Like like I'll
Yeah,
see what you can do, and then if after that, we'll go for it.
yeah. Like Marvel, they let the Russo brothers do a Captain America movie, and then that movie was amazing. So they're like, hey, you want to make the next Avengers movie? And they're like, yeah, we do.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, sure. And boom, the movie's awesome. And they're like, hey, you guys are good at what you do. You're like, thanks. We like making movies. And
Make more for
so
us, please.
yeah, I was like, let's do that again. Sure thing, boss. And boom, boom, boom. Billions of dollars. Like,
I mean, granted, that doesn't work everywhere, Snyder.
No.
But
See, the key is they have to be good movies. That's the key they kind of forgot. They did the whole, stay on the same side, make multiple movies. They just didn't do the, make sure the movies are actually, good
yeah,
movies.
yeah.
But, I digress.
Okay, so time to move into our last segment in other nerd news. Yeah, in other nerd news. Did you hear all of the Hasbro information that came out a couple of days ago?
Hasbro, like the gaming, like with games?
Um, well, all the Hasbro movies that are
Okay.
coming out. So I'll start from the least interesting and go to the most interesting.
Okay.
Another GI Joe movie, which I'm not sure if it'll be a reboot or like a continuation of the one that came out 4 years
There was
ago.
something
With
like
Channing
that.
Tatum in it, I think.
Yeah, I remember hearing about it and it was like super unexcited. And then,
Just kind of happened.
yeah, I was just kind of like, okay, but I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember because I don't know. I never really like the toy GI Joe. I never really had the toys, and I
Yeah.
never was really inclined with. So I was, But
I did watch the original cartoon that came out in the 80s.
right, yeah,
Like I had the videos. I rented the videos of it. And this is actually like for a show that's only made to sell toys, just like Transformers. Like it's not
yeah.
good, but it's enjoyable. You know?
That it's you can tell it's not just a cash grab. Like it's
Yeah. Like stuff from the 80s like that. Like they knew what they were, and they just went
yeah.
all in on the cheese. Like Cobra Commander, like you're not supposed to take him seriously. That's one thing the movies don't really understand. Like you're not supposed to take Cobra seriously. He has that super high
No.
shrill voice and all his plans are stupid. but he's still like but GI Joe still kind of sees him as a threat even though they really shouldn't and it's just kind of makes that just
He
like an
respects
interesting
the
dynamic.
enemy, but yeah.
And I think the most recent GI Joe movie, they just make Cobra like a super serious rogue general person. It just wasn't the same. I, and considering how Hasbro has the rights to, they essentially have the rights to nostalgia in a lot of ways. Like all of their
Mm-hmm.
products have been around for 30 plus years. I wouldn't be
Back
surprised
in the day.
if these new movies that are going to come out in all the categories I'm going to talk about if they focus more on the nostalgia aspect, if they do play up the goofiness of the villains of these movies. Like the same thing was kind of the case with the Decepticons in the original Transformers show.
Mhm.
Like they were intimidating, but they were also really goofy. They were also their plans never made any sense.
Yes, they were just kind of like the guys versus
Mhm.
in the movies where they're just like so hardcore and serious and take over the world.
Brown and gray and black and like all talking that
Yeah,
generic deep evil voice. Like it's just not it
yeah.
just wasn't good in any aspect of it. So G.I. Joe movie, like I'm sure it'll be interesting. I don't have any information on it outside of the fact that they're making one, so I can't really talk more about it. But just the idea of a new GI Joe movie, if it's not connected to the one that came out a couple years ago, why not? Like they have the rights to it, just
Oh,
try it. I guess.
try again. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Spider Man got rebooted 2 years after or 3 years after the last one came out. So why not try something?
It's necessarily like bad movies. I mean, none of the Star Wars. I mean, not Star Wars. None
Spider-Man.
of the Spider-Man movies were like it wasn't given the Fantastic Four treatment. Like,
Amazing
granted,
Spider-Man.
do it
Amazing
again.
Spider-Man 2 was
Well, okay, I admit, Amazing Spider-Man 2 was like not that great. It was very like overly villain heavy. And that was kind of the problem with Spider-Man 3.
mhm,
Or one of the problems with Spider-Man 3.
one.
But it's like they didn't just like they weren't just like, all right, rip it up. This is absolutely horrible. But I mean, I think they just because how the way the MCU took off, I think they just decided let's do it again, and this time put it with all our other successful
Yeah.
movies.
Even though they teased at the end of it that the Sinister Six would be a thing, they just kind of swept that under the rug. That didn't happen. It's fine.
It's like, well,
Kind of like
fine.
kind of like
enjoy this movie. Go.
Kind of like how Green Lantern had the audacity of having an after credits scene. Or Dragon Ball Evolution of all things having an after credits scene.
Oh my god, Dragon Ball Evolution. That of all the like disgraceful like movie adaptations, like up there with like the last Airbender movie and like, oh man, like I actually saw Dragon Ball Evolution
in theaters,
and I was
why?
Yeah, like I don't know, like it's like I know, like it looked bad. Like I was not expecting it to be good at all. It's like, I mean, Dragon Ball Z is very, it's a part of my childhood and where I am, and like, and I still love Dragon Ball Z. So you know what? Fine, why not? I'll give it a chance. I didn't see The Last Airbender in theaters, even though I love the show and the movie. I knew it was gonna be like, okay. I didn't know it was gonna be trash coming in, but I didn't expect it to be that good.
At least,
like you can,
at the very least, The Last Airbender movie kind of followed the plot of the show. Did it awfully.
I mean,
it did it badly, but at least it tried.
It kind of made sense.
At least it tried. Dragon Ball Evolution, I don't know what universe they thought they were doing.
Yeah, it just took the names and just kind of made its own story. Like, I mean, the only thing that made sense was that, I mean, okay, none of them made sense.
Yeah.
But they just had the same names and then they just do this thing. And it's just like, he's like, I've seen pretty much every episode of Dragon Ball Z. Like, I've probably missed some filler episodes, but I mean, it has so many filler episodes. But I mean, I've seen pretty much all the Dragon Ball Z, and it's like this had nothing to do with any of it. Oh, yeah. This was literally just the name, and I mean it's bad, man. But I don't know. I just oh man, like, and I mean I don't think it's like like that bad. Like it's bad, but I don't think it's like on the same shelf as those two. Like I mean it's
what two?
Yeah. Like it's not on the same shelf as like The Last Airbender bad or like Dragon Ball Evolution. Like that's like that's a reserved space.
I don't know. Like I said, at least The Last Airbender tried to be faithful to the show to an extent.
I mean, kind of. Okay, but the thing is, they did the easy stuff wrong. Like they mispronounced the main character's name.
Yeah, that is true.
It's not even like. It's not even like if it was based on a book, like, oh, you may think it's this, but it's that. Like, it's a TV show.
Yeah.
Like, how do you say it wrong?
Soka.
There's no reason.
No.
Exactly. Like, there's no reason you should say it wrong based on a TV show. That doesn't make any sense. Like, it's like saying it doesn't translate. I mean, it doesn't. I don't know. And like that, and a lot of the characters didn't really make sense. Or really like act like the real characters.
They didn't have emotion. They didn't.
Or like Sokka's not funny and kind of clever. He's just kind of, and Katara doesn't really make any sense. And it's bad. And Iroh's not one of the best characters. He's just kind of
a background guy. Like I'm not defending like The Last Airbender movie by any means. It is bottom tier movie. I'm just saying that Dragon Ball Evolution, in my humble opinion, is honestly like on the same level.
Okay, no, I think Dragon Ball Evolution is probably worse. Yeah,
like they're on the same. Like Empire Strikes Back is A tier. These are like triple Z tier. Like they're triple Z, like down there somewhere.
Like they're in the basement. It's terrible.
Yeah. And like
I don't even know.
Green Lantern honestly might also be in there.
I don't know.
Have you ever watched a more boring movie than Green Lantern?
Yeah, it's Dragon Ball. Yes.
Fair enough.
And like the thing about in theaters is like I've never got up in a movie and left,
You
but I
left?
thought about it
Oh,
for
you
like,
thought.
I mean, yeah, I mean, no, I actually didn't. I've never left the movie before. That
Mhm.
is one of the only movies I've ever seen where I legit like, I mean, and like not even like at the end, like I'm talking like 15 minutes in was like I might just sit outside and like
uh,
just go to the mall. Like this might
yeah.
just be terrible. I mean,
Whatever's out there is
I really
gonna be
paid
more
for it.
interesting than what I'm watching right now.
It's like how long into the movie is it too late to get a refund and just be like, oh, I'm
Can
sorry, I picked the wrong movie by mistake. Like I wonder if they can like
can you do that? Can you get a
I
refund
have
on a
no
movie
idea.
ticket?
I doubt it. I mean, more than likely, I doubt it. But then you could probably just go movie hopping. Just be careful. I don't know. Probably see
Yeah.
what else is on. But I've never done that. I need to do that.
I've
Just
never done that either. Like I know at one point I did buy. I think uh, there was one time where for some reason the ticket said a different movie than what I was going to see, but that was
mm,
the only time I like a movie hopped. I haven't like actually bought a ticket and like seen like three
yeah,
movies at the same time.
just stay out of the movie. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. I could see. I can't see multiple movies at a theater. I get
I
tired.
might
I just be
honestly,
like,
I might
oh.
have to do that this May, like, like at the end of May, just see all of them at the same time, just to...
So you're like, ooh, it's like Solo. What? Oh, it's like, ooh, oh,
Deadpool.
that's
Okay.
that Deadpool too? What? Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, why not? Yeah, I think. No, usually like the credits, like, yeah, I've got time. Like, get in.
I got time.
Yeah, I got time. Like,
Okay.
oh
So
man, I don't
next
know.
in
I'll consider it.
next in Hasbro news, are you aware of the bottom tier Dungeons and Dragons movie that came out in 1999?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the only reason is because I know someone who plays. And I've never played personally, but I know
Yeah, me
someone who
neither.
plays. And I mean, this guy, I mean, like, I've never seen someone so mad about something in my entire life. I didn't, like, I was just like, are you okay? He's like, no, no. And he was like, the whole fandom just like wanted to revolt.
Oh yeah, it was.
Like,
It's bad.
it
It's a
is
bad movie.
bad. And like at this time, this guy's like 30 now. Like so at the
Mm.
time, it's just kind of like, what is this grown man like doing now? Like this is like I'm honestly uncomfortable that this grown man with a kid
Oh.
is freaking out about this. It's hilarious actually.
Mm. Oh yeah.
But
Apparently they're
no,
making
it's
another one. They're making a new D&D movie, which
why?
I mean
I mean,
it's.
okay, I don't. Did that make people even play still?
Oh yeah, it's still pretty popular. Like new new playsets are still being released every year, so it's still
Really?
popular.
Okay, okay. I gotta admit, I didn't know. I thought it kind of, that's kind of, went downhill. But I guess I don't know. But
And the I think the franchise has been around since the 70s maybe, or like maybe even earlier than that. Like
yeah,
it's
it's
a
been a
pretty old
while.
it's a pretty old game. So um
74 was
hmm,
originally introduced.
74.
1974.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's been around for quite a while.
45 years ish.
Yeah,
44.
that's
Hmm.
long. That's longer than I thought it was.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know how well that's gonna do, but I mean,
I
we'll
mean,
see.
the fan base is big. Like if they just do a movie like a game would be played, like you have your mage, your cleric, your warrior,
Mhm.
you're like, you have like one of every class and they're just going through this world like just whatever. Just essentially what I'm trying to say, don't do what the 1999 movie did. Just don't do that. That's the
Have you
bare
seen the
minimum.
19, Have you seen the 99 movie?
I've watched a Solder Critic review it. I haven't
Okay.
actually watched it myself.
Okay.
Don't really care to. It's
No,
pretty
I think
bad.
we'll be all right without it. We'll be fine. I'll take your word for
Yeah.
it.
And like I like me some dragons. So if it's
Hmm.
like if it looks good, if it looks interesting, I might try it. I don't know. Assuming there
I'll
aren't
have to say,
like that many other movies coming out around the same time, it might be
mhm.
interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, if it comes out in May, there's no chance. But
Yeah, just anime from now on.
any
Just skip it.
May, any May,
That is
pretty much any
Disney's month. Let's
December.
be real.
But I mean, we'll
I think for the
see. I
past
don't
like
know,
I think for the past 4 years, a Marvel movie has come out in May every year. Maybe.
has it been May specifically every year?
Yeah. Because Guardians 2 was last year in May.
Mm-hmm.
Avengers. I think Age of Ultron was May. I know
Back in like 2000.
Civil War was May. 2015. What came out in
Let's
20?
see.
Oh, that was Age of Ultron. Um, Winter Soldier was May or April. I think Winter Soldier might have been April, but still like around that time. So yeah, for
So
the
I think that's smart too. Like right before summer,
and
you know, just
that also gives them time to release another Marvel movie in summer if they want to, like they're doing with Ant-Man this year.
right, exactly. You know, how they feel about it, and just like, okay, so yeah, the original Iron Man was in May.
Mm. Was it May 4th?
Let's see, Iron Man. Actually, I think they just go based on like the first Friday in May. At
Mm.
least
I
that's what I
think
think. So yeah,
I think Avengers 3 is coming out literally 10 years after Iron Man came out.
I mean, well, it's gonna be about 2 days off, I think. But
Okay.
yeah, Iron Man is in May.
Mm-hmm.
Was in May. Thor was in May. Captain America, Avengers. I mean,
Okay. Yeah, so
hey, Iron
every
Man.
other
All
movie
three Iron. Yeah,
every other movie
all
just
three.
needs to not do May.
Pretty much.
Just forget about
Pretty. Yeah. It's like you might want to just try a different month.
it.
You might have to. You might have to. I don't. And my thing is like, I mean, May is pretty much Marvel, and then December is generally Star Wars month. Except this year, it's not Star Wars
Aquaman.
month.
Aquaman's coming
But
out.
mark your calendars, guys.
Big boy's
Aquaman.
coming out to play.
I mean, yeah, we'll see about that. I don't know. I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe it'll do good. I mean, Wonder Woman did go on its own.
But
So I
that's
mean,
Wonder Woman.
maybe
And
this is true, and
she was introduced in a terrible movie, and she was the best part of that movie.
this is true.
Aquaman was kind of the worst part of of Justice League. I mean, there are a lot of worst parts, but he's kind of part of it.
I don't think he was the worst. He was not a bright spot.
Yeah, exactly.
Not like, well, at least Aquaman's on. Like, yeah.
I mean, then again, I kind of struggle to find a bright part of that movie. Now I think about it hard enough.
That's true. But I mean, honestly, and plus Aquaman is literally no one's favorite DC superhero. So I mean,
Yeah, like
I mean,
he's okay. Like
come on, it's Aquaman. There's a reason.
He's not as bad as a lot of people say he is. Like people always say, "Oh, he's the worst superhero." Period. Like no, that is so wrong. But
there are much worse superheroes.
yeah, but no one is just loving Aquaman.
I mean, there's not.
He's maybe some people's top 5, but he's no one's top 3.
Like, I mean, yeah, I mean, he has some. I mean, his powers are not bad. It's just the concept of Aquaman's kind of just like,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like he's useful for some things, but I mean, most things, like, I mean, what if you have to go to space? Aquaman, like, I mean, unless they also have fish to talk to, like, I mean, he still has strength and all that, but I mean, I don't know.
That movie will. That movie's just gonna come and go. I don't really think it's gonna really do anything. Like, it's just gonna kind of happen, and people might see it.
I mean, some people are gonna see it. I feel like it's gonna have a decent weekend, and then just kind of fall off from there.
Yeah, like at best 100 million. That's probably not even
maybe.
Like
I don't even know.
Because Justice League didn't even make 100 million its first weekend. I think it made like 96 mil.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's so sad because I mean that movie's been talked about for years. I
Yeah.
mean, we've been thinking, man, what if we got a Justice League movie? And it comes out and everyone's like,
Oh,
Justice League movie, like,
like, oh, can we not have this? Can we try again?
yeah, it's like, yeah, it's like, do we get a mulligan or a retry? No, but
Oh, great segue. Speaking of mulligans, um, Bumblebee will be the last
oh
Bayformers
yeah,
movie.
oh yeah, yeah. That's what, like seven, I think.
Bumblebee would be the sixth Transformers movie, and then
Okay,
Transformers
six.
6 was actually canceled.
Okay,
Which is funny
but yeah,
because Transformers 5, just like Green Lantern, had the audacity to end on a cliffhanger.
of course, because everyone's gonna go see the next one.
It's the only Transformers movie to end on a cliffhanger. Like Transformers 4, it technically did, but like it's one of those things where like the story's just gonna kind of continue. Like you don't
Mhm.
necessarily need another movie in order to like really show what happened. But
Right.
Transformers 5, it legitimately ended with like an important character like coming back to life and like just kind of doing something sinister.
Yeah,
Like,
you're just like, hey.
yeah,
I,
like it's
I don't,
so the only Transformers movie to actually end on a cliffhanger is not going to follow up on it, which I am
because
perfectly fine with because Bayformers can
yeah, I
just
don't
go
think
somewhere.
anyone's complaining. I mean, it's literally just, I mean,
Which makes it
the
even
10
funnier
people
because, like, why is the Bumblebee movie still happening if this movie isn't going to be connected to anything after this?
was hoping that, like, since Bumblebee's, like, kind of a fan favorite, at least when the first one came out,
Mm-hmm.
that they're like, oh, man, Bumblebee, those people love that. And I mean, maybe that's what they're banking off of. But
John Cena's in it, so there's something, I guess.
I mean, I mean, you won't even see him. So I mean, what's the point?
Okay.
But I mean, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that was bad. I like the John Cena jokes. I just like to
Mhm.
throw them in.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
fine.
you take it as you will.
So,
But I mean, no, I mean, I'm not.
so now that they have actually canceled Transformers 6, Hasbro is actually talking about a potential reboot of Transformers by 2021 where they're actually going to have more creative and quality control over it, which is so exciting to hear that. like like I
Well,
said
I gotta,
earlier,
yeah,
like I said earlier, Transformers and just giant robots in general, they're in my wheelhouse. Like those that's
yeah.
something that like I adore. so
It's like, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be they can do with it 'cause I think they can do it right,
mm.
but not just robots.
And it's not that it wouldn't even be that hard to do a Transformers movie right. Like there are so many angles you could take it. The main reason the Bayformers franchise was trash is because it focused so much on the human characters. When
Right?
that was
It's like
never the focus of the original movies. of the
right. It's like
original
it's
show.
called Transformers. Like I want
The
to talk
movie.
about the Transformers.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And in Transformers 5, Transformers The Last Night, a Transformer isn't even the last knight. It's Mark Wahlberg's character. He's the last knight. It's like, are you serious?
We don't care about Shia LaBeouf or Mark Wahlberg or whoever.
or
Like
hot chick for the day. Like no one
there,
cares.
no, yeah. I mean, the hot chick movie in the movie, which I mean, like, come on. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, that's great that they have characters, but I mean, we're here for the Transformers.
Yeah,
There we go. Transformers, the
yeah.
movie. Like
Like,
that's kind of we expect to see that.
and even when we do see the Transformers on screen, just a bunch of shaky cam. Like we don't even see them. so there are there have been legitimately exactly 3 good scenes in the entirety of the Transformers franchise.
You
Only
looked them
3.
all up?
Hmm?
Wait, which three?
Um, the opening of the first Transformers movie when Blackout is the helicopter one, like lands in that
Right.
military base,
Up.
transforms, and then blows everything up. Like that's a legitimately
Yeah.
like suspenseful, well choreographed, well directed scene.
Mhm.
The other scene is which isn't even that great, but like I'm giving it to it just to have three,
Yeah,
just so I can say there are at least three.
I'm just throwing that in there.
Is in the first movie when Optimus like swings around this pole and cuts the head off of Bone Crusher.
Pretty
So
awesome. I remember that.
yeah,
That was
which
pretty
like
dope.
that was, and there was like a little bit of a fight before then. And it was like actually not that bad. So that's something. And then in Transformers 2, the only good scene, even then it's not great, was like the only like relatively good scene was Optimus Prime's fight in the forest against Megatron, Starscream, and I guess
Mm-hmm.
Blackout, or not Blackout. What was his name? Vortex? Vortex maybe. The other helicopter one. So yeah, three scenes in the entirety of over five movies. Two of them are the
Five
same movie.
movies, 10 plus hours. It just yeah.
Like
It's
every other scene in the entire movie is hindered in some way, either by the acting being terrible, the human characters getting in the way, the scene is getting cut short for no reason and just ending. Like that legitimately how Transformers 3 ended, by the final battle between Optimus and Megatron just stopping. Like, have you seen Transformers 3?
I'm not. I stopped after two. I
Fair
couldn't.
enough.
I couldn't go after two. I couldn't.
So, and then the climax of Transformers 3, um, Optimus is fighting Sentinel Prime, who is usually a good guy, by the way. And for some reason in
That's
this
what I was
movie, they decided to make
thinking.
him a bad guy. Um, he's fighting him, and Sentinel Prime is winning. And then Megatron, after getting a pep talk from the hot chick for the day, who Megatron has shown on multiple occasions to hate all of humanity, so I don't know why suddenly cares about this hot chick.
Wait, he got a pep talk.
Yeah, like Megatron was just sitting in a pile of rubble, and the hot chick just talked to him. I don't know why she was talking to him because she should be scared of this guy, but whatever.
Huh.
And then Megatron was like, "I have to do something," and then Optimus is about to get his head cut off. Megatron just comes up behind Sentinel and blasts him to bits. Sentinel's dead. That's it. Just like two shots, you're dead. Like, why is he a threat if you can just shoot him in the back and he's dead?
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's all you needed. Like 20 minutes
And
into the
then
movie and just been done with it.
it gets worse. So, um, Megatron, like helps Optimus up. Optimus only has one arm at this point, which makes the scene even more ridiculous. Megatron helps Optimus up, and then Megatron goes, "What would you do without me, Prime?" And then Optimus goes, "Let's find out." / dead.
Kill.
He just flails his arm around with his sword. Like, he literally does this.
Uh,
Megatron's dead. That's it.
I guess. I mean, you got to get rid of the bad guy, but I mean,
But,
that's. I mean, after he kind of helped you out, I mean, what's up with that?
but this is the climax of the original, like, that was supposed to be the end of the Transformers franchise as we knew it at the
Right.
time. And
Yeah,
you
so that's
have
huge.
the quintessential battle of good and evil, like Optimus versus Megatron, Autobots versus Decepticons. This is the quintessential like rivalry of the entire franchise,
And
and
it just ends with
like that.
boom, you're dead. Like climactic.
And this is coming off of the first movie that ended with Shia LaBeouf just shoving the Allspark into Megatron's chest, hoping that would work, and it did. So Optimus, in the span of 5 movies, never had a satisfying fight against Megatron.
And it's just kind of yeah, it's I gotta admit, like for how much like fighting was really like subpar in
Yeah.
general with those movies because it's like
Oh,
killing machines
that reminds me. So
and
one of the worst scenes in the entirety of the franchise. This is kind of like a 2-part scene in my opinion. Like the first part was in the first movie where Bumblebee transforms to fight Barricade. Keep in mind, this was the first time in these movies that a Transformer fought another Transformer.
right.
So Bumblebee transforms and they start fighting. They like it shows from their point of view for like a good maybe 30 seconds, and then it cuts to Megan Fox and Shia LaBeouf running away from the smaller Transformer. And then it cuts back to them fight for maybe 5 seconds, then it cuts back to, and then Megan Fox like does like has this chainsaw or something and like cuts the little chainsaw in half. Then it cuts back and Bumblebee wins. He already won.
It's just
He won
yeah,
on
it's just
screen.
like shouldn't we have seen that? And
You
like we
would
could have just
think.
been like, oh, we took out the other one. You
Like,
know, like I want to see the Transformers fight, not the humans
yeah,
do human
like
stuff.
the
You know,
first time you have the chance to show two giant robots, something that objectively everyone loves to see giant robots fight.
especially if you're here, like yeah,
You just have you say no. People don't want to see that. They want to see Megan Fox do stuff, which
because Megan Fox,
but she's not even that hot. She's
I
just
know,
whatever.
overrated.
But Transformers, like giant robots fighting, they fought for maybe 1 minute of screen time, and that was the first big action scene of your movie. Anyway, so there's that happened, and then later in the third movie, Bumblebee gets captured or something during the Battle of Chicago, and not Barricade, but not say a sideways, a different gray Transformer because they're all either gray, black, or brown.
Right, right.
Another one who actually looks very similar to Barricade, but it's not. He says this line right before he's about to kill Bumblebee. Um, I've been waiting for this for a long time, old friend. And I'm sitting here, like, every ounce of my body, the first time I heard that, I was like, that should be Barricade. Why isn't it Barricade there? Why is this side swipe saying, I've been waiting to kill you, old friend, when they were the first two to interact in the first movie? And what makes it worse, this scene is actually. Whoa, hang on. Okay, so this scene is actually made worse because in the background, when Bumblebee turns around and actually starts fighting sideways because of some distraction, Barricade can be seen in the background. I'm not even joking. Like if you look, he can be seen in the
Seriously?
background. Yes. I haven't looked at it recently, so maybe I was imagining things, but last time I saw it, I
It
remember
was
being
like,
furious at the
why am
fact. I remember being
you not
furious
doing
at the
this?
fact that, like, why is it not you? Like, you're here.
Like in the movie Gets Up, why is he not fighting him? They're like,
Like,
sit down. Like,
you
no,
had
you
to,
sit down.
since all these Transformers were CG, you had to animate Barricade being in the background of that scene. You chose to
It's with
do
good
that.
intent. It's like you knew this was going in. You decided, yes, this is a good idea. Not give them this like somewhat emotional, like, instead, let's just throw them together and say arbitrary lines that have no meaning
Mm-hmm.
because we can. And it's just like
Oh, actually, it wasn't sideways. It was a sound wave. Now I think about it, but still, doesn't matter. They're all gray.
not
They all look
matter.
the same.
Well, I'm saying, I'm like, I do not remember any of the bad guys' names other
I
than like Megatron and
I only remember the
Starscream.
names
Like,
because I was a fan of of the original show, and they like a lot of the names carried over, even though they weren't
right.
actually the same characters. um, but yeah, the fact that Hasbro actually has more creative control over these new movies is actually pretty exciting. Like if you just play the Transformers movie straight, don't involve the Allspark, don't make them like, don't actually make them aliens first, because that was one problem with the Transformers movies. They were just aliens that looked like robots,
Right.
essentially, which that is not at all how the Transformers should work. Which I, I
Because
don't know.
in the original, they're just robots, right?
Yeah, they're just robots, like from space. No big deal. They don't have all these weird moving parts, and they like it's so easy to just follow the plot of the movie. You can do your own stuff, but you don't
Just
just do it.
story the same. Like, dude, yeah, and that's just generally like movies these days. They just don't do that, and I mean that's not even just like how they did it with all these adaptations and our version. Like it's terrible.
Yeah, like I know if you start talking about BVS, like BVS, but
Oh,
essentially
goodness.
that Batman v Superman kind of did that too. But anyway, so that's exciting. So moving on from Hasbro, um, did you know that Square Enix actually has exclusive rights to make Marvel or to make Avengers games?
I actually did not know that.
Yeah.
Really?
So I may have
Like
misspoke there.
adventure games specifically.
They Square Enix, one of their uh, subsidiaries, they have the rights to make a Marvel game,
Okay.
or should I say, an Avengers game. So I'm not sure if that gives them the right to all like dedicated Marvel Universe games, but I know they have the rights to an Avengers game.
Interesting.
The reason I bring this up is because one of the writers of Black Panther, said that a Black Panther video game is actually in the works. So
Oh,
that just kind of got
I
me thinking, like, is that tied into the Marvel universe that Square Enix is apparently making, or is that going to be its own thing?
may either way. I mean, that has the potential to be really good because I mean, with that character, you could make like that game
Mm-hmm.
amazing. Because I mean, that suit has a lot of attributes to it. The story could be really good. I
It'd be
mean,
really easy to like progression through upgrades, like get new technology and
I,
stuff.
yeah, it's like you can add stuff, and it's like by like leveling up, and ooh, dude, and like the combat systems
Oh yeah.
probably could be really good.
I just hope they do the game generally more like an Arkham game and not a movie
Yeah,
tie-in game.
yeah,
Like, don't make
that
it
would
connected to anything. Just make a Black Panther game. You
right.
know?
Just make it about Black Panther, and it's some story. He has to fight these bad guys, and just
Mm-hmm.
that would be such a like. I'm like imagining that like a Batman Arkham game. Like that'd be really good because
Mm-hmm.
like that game is so simple, but it's still so good. It's so satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
But Batman does like backflips, kill somebody else, or and then like with this, you could use that plus the soup's like upgraded powers and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, these are really endless.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that could be interesting. Granted, if it is Square Enix, it will probably never come out. Because they actually
That's
they
true.
announced this Avengers game back in 2015, I think.
What?
Yeah, or it
It's
was either
been
2 or 3 years ago, and we
oh
haven't gotten a
my
single trailer
god.
or any more information about it since.
It started,
So
to be honest. Like in true Square Enix fashion, you'll hear about it. There, you'll get the first trailer.
like they have this terrible habit of making trailers as soon as a game, like before a game has even
It's
started
like,
production.
mm-hmm.
Like as soon as they get done with the roundtable discussion of what game they're gonna make next, they go on to make a trailer. Like
Right?
legitimately, the Final Fantasy VII remake trailer that was revealed at E3 before the director of Final Fantasy knew he was making that game.
That's what I'm saying. And like, I mean, what's up with like they just like and that's the thing too. When people see a trailer, they expect like, oh, this is coming out like next year, like latest.
Mm-hmm.
Like you think that, but really, we're gonna make you wait for 5 years. Like,
Like
it's
most studios, when they reveal a trailer, it's like coming. Let's say they reveal a trailer 2018, coming 2019. It'll maybe come like the following holiday at the latest. Square Enix 2018, it'll come at 2022 by the latest, by the
yeah,
earliest.
you'll be
2022 by the earliest.
you'll be like a totally different person and everything, and like because the Kingdom Hearts 3, they've been talking about that for so
That's what, oh
long.
06? I mean,
So I mean, like something like that. Like I mean, they were talking about that like not too long after the second one came
mm-hmm.
out. Hear anything about it? And then all of a sudden, like 2013, you start hearing about it again, and here we are, 2018,
It still maybe won't come
out
out
this
this year.
year.
Like,
That's what I'm saying.
what
It
is.
might even come out next year. Like
Uh,
everyone,
so,
2018 was the initial thought,
yeah.
like direct and stuff based on the trailers. But I
But
mean,
at that
I
point,
think it's gonna be this.
reveal it in 2016. Why 2013?
That's what I'm saying. Like, or at least like I don't know. I mean, I guess they just love like taking every ounce of your patience just to like force you to buy. But then eventually they're just gonna lose. People are just gonna lose interest.
Yeah, which is one reason why I'm kind of hoping
Like,
this Black Panther game that's probably in the works. I hope that's not by Square Enix. I hope it's by someone like a Rocksteady or something like that,
right.
because then it would actually
Game.
come out.
Yeah, and Rocksteady makes some pretty good games.
Hmm. They have
That would be fun.
they have two studios. Granted,
Right.
um, uh, crap, Batman Arkham Origins wasn't the best.
This is
Actually,
true.
no, that was WB Montreal, so that wasn't even Rocksteady. So,
Right. And all the other Arkham games were very good. I mean, some are better than others, but I mean,
but even
like
like even
good
if
games.
WB Montreal did make Black Panther, granted, now that I'm saying it out loud, that's probably not going to be the case, considering why would WB
No,
make a Black Panther game? But you know
doesn't make
what?
any sense.
Someone like that, or
In that,
even
yeah, and
Insomniac, the guys behind
yeah,
the that new Spider-Man game. That'd be interesting.
right. Because that game looks amazing. I mean,
Hmm.
that, right. And again, they did kind of the same thing. They're like, it's just a Spider-Man game. It's not nothing to do with like the Tom
Hmm.
Holland Spider-Man and all that. It's
Yeah,
just a Spider-Man game.
yeah, which is something I kind of hope they do with really any future superhero game.
Yeah,
Just play it straight. Just make a superhero game. Don't tie it into a movie
right.
because every movie adaptation game is terrible.
Pretty much, like most movies, because I mean, like they made these games based on like I remember when the Dark Knight trilogy was going on, they made those games, and like those games were like
Bad.
really
Which
bad.
actually, funny story. The Transformers the movie game that came out for the DS is actually really good. um,
Really,
like it's not actually good, but it's like a 6.5 out of 10, maybe.
that's actually not too bad,
Yeah,
especially like on DS. Like you don't expect that much sometimes.
like especially for a movie adaptation game. The way it works is that it was split into essentially two different games. One you play as the Autobots, one you play as Decepticons. And there's no human
Okay,
characters, and you play
okay.
as like for most of the story, you play as like this new Transformer who's essentially trying to rise up in the ranks of
Mhm.
whichever faction they're in. And in the Autobot one, you essentially just play through the story of the movie, but in the Decepticon one, you you play as this Decepticon who who is actually essentially like a spy for Starscream, who's there trying to
Interesting.
kind of kind of like undermine Megatron throughout the way. So
Mhm.
like it's actually a pretty interesting game. The combat can be kind of monotonous, um like you can of course like shoot, you can like do close to close
Yeah,
combat, but whenever you're fighting other like named Transformers, they they just seem really cheap. Like you when you're fighting just like minions, your combo like sends them flying. But when you're fighting
right.
like Ironhide or someone, your combo just leaves you open for them to knock you back instead. So it's
Doesn't do as much. They're way overpowered.
yeah. But overall, the game was actually I thought pretty good, especially compared to the movie,
Hmm.
of course. It's one of the
Yeah.
only movie adaptations that was actually better than the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because generally, like movie adaptation games, like even if the movies aren't good, the games are always somehow worse.
Yeah.
The games are still trash. So it's
Yeah.
just like, man, if you didn't
Like
like the movie,
like
feel
Amazing
great.
Spider-Man 2, the game is also very bad. Somehow worse than the
Oh
movie.
my gosh. And that's saying, I mean, man, yeah, like that's pretty rough. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
Iron Man 2, the game.
Is
That
that a
just
thing,
sounds
really?
bad.
Ugh. Okay.
Is it? Oh my God, I don't even want to, like, I gotta see this.
I know there was an Iron Man original the game, and it wasn't good, but still, it was a thing. Like people legitimately like said Iron Man the game was 2008's Superman
Mhm.
64, which is never something you want to
Oh
be compared to.
gosh.
Never something you want to be compared to.
Dude, oh wow. Okay, so yeah, I got 5 out of 10 on IGN. It's Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks
okay. Which I was honestly, that's actually kind of high, all considering from you.
pretty. You're like, wow, that's actually not too bad.
I've seen worse.
Yeah, oh yeah, I've definitely seen worse, but I mean, it doesn't look too great. I mean, honestly, it looks much
Oh,
like.
there is this terrible Aquaman game that came out in like 2003. That's
They made an Aquaman
yeah,
game.
it's it's not based
Uh,
on anything. It didn't come out around the time of like anything Aquaman related. It's just an Aquaman game for no reason.
is it like
It's not good.
cartoon Aquaman or like
Um,
just random Aquaman
it's
game?
the same Aquaman that the one from Justice League Unlimited is based on, like the one with like the blonde hair and the
Okay,
hook for the hand. That's that same one, but
okay, cool.
it's not good. It really isn't good.
Yeah, no, it's not bad, but
Like imagine imagine a really bad Superman game. Now imagine that underwater.
ooh, that does sound terrible.
It's essentially that.
Ooh, yeah. I remember hearing about, speaking of Superman, I remember hearing about like a possible like Rocksteady was
Mm-hmm.
thinking about making a new game with Superman being the,
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I've also
oh, that's
that could be interesting. I've also heard rumors that they're making a straight up Justice League game, and also
mhm.
rumors they're making a Batman Beyond game.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Oh man, like because like first of all, you could do a lot with that because the
Mm-hmm.
city you could make that super futuristic, look super cool. Dude has like a bunch of gadgets because I mean, like in the show, he's got like invisibility mode,
Mm-hmm.
fly, you like actually fly with like the jet boots and
Yeah.
whatever, and like the wings, and yeah, I think that would be really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we're probably gonna hear something about the new Rocksteady game, whatever it turns out to be.
Hmm.
Can you hear people in my hallway? Like, did you hear
I heard
screaming?
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people are being idiots in my hallway right now. Like, why? Shut up.
Swear.
Okay, whatever. As I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted. Uh, we're probably gonna hear about the next Rocksteady game at E3 because it's been what 4 years since our last one. Like 3 years
Yeah, I mean,
since. Yeah,
something
3 years
like
since
that
Arkham
because
Knight.
I mean,
So we'll probably hear something.
for a while. Yeah.
Is
Excited because I mean they haven't really missed lately, so I mean
yeah.
I'm excited to see how this goes.
I think yeah, Rocksteady releases a new game every about every 3 years.
Hmm.
So we're gonna at least hear about it probably this year.
Yeah, I mean they're on the clock, so I
Mm-hmm.
mean at this point,
Yeah.
I mean if they go with the new Justice League game, like that'd be amazing. Because
Mm-hmm.
like, or like I've always thought like a Flash game would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Just like run around super fast. You know, I don't. That'd
Yeah.
just be fun.
Just there's nothing wrong with just having a game where you can just be a superhero, like just like Spider-Man 2. Like that's one of the only actually good movie tie-in games. Like that game solely exists so you can just be Spider-Man. Just swing
Yeah,
around the
swing
city, just
around.
do whatever.
Yeah, that's actually one of the games that I bought for the PS2 like more recently. That just
Mm.
because I was like, oh, I never played this game, but I heard it was really good. And like the web swinging is really good. I like how there's just like random crime, like in a real Spider-Man
Yeah.
it would be like you get to actually like go chase the car as Spider-Man and like
Hmm.
stuff.
Yeah, so a game where you could just run around as Flash, just do whatever you want as
Mm-hmm.
Flash would
Yeah,
I don't see a problem with that.
also phase through something every now and then. I mean that'd be
Hmm.
really, especially with how the TV show is like popular and bringing that
Yeah.
character to light. So
Yeah, granted, they probably should have made that game like 3 years ago when the show was actually good, but you know what?
this is true. This is true. I mean, Flash is
uh,
it's doing an era right now.
uh,
It's kind of
it's
falling
been
off,
doing an
but
arrow. Let's be real. It's been doing an arrow.
it's bad. It's like and then Arrow was kind of doing. I gotta admit, like last season, Arrow was actually okay, but then
Mm,
now it's back down to I don't
yeah.
care anymore.
Like, I actually considered making a segment for this show to be like
But
a weekend review of all the CW shows. Then I was like,
right,
None of them are good outside of kind of Black Lightning, so there's no point in reviewing them. They'll all
Lightning,
be the
Act
same.
Lightning is so far getting good, but it's like other than that, I mean, Legends is back, I think, right?
It came back last week and it wasn't good. It wasn't great. Constantine
Legends
was
is
in it, like it wasn't interesting.
wait, who was in it?
Constantine,
Oh
John Constantine, yeah,
yeah. Yeah, I actually do like Constantine. Like not this Constantine. I mean, he
yeah.
does play it kind of well.
Mm-hmm.
Constantine, he's kind of cool.
It wasn't like it was fine, but it wasn't amazing. Like it
It
wasn't
wasn't like,
good.
yeah, yeah.
So the villain isn't interesting. Like none of the characters are interesting. None of the new characters are interesting. Like
No.
it's just bland. And I think
Yeah, that's
Flash
kind of
is taking a week or two off, which I'm fine with. Who
I
cares?
think I think they need a couple weeks off to rethink what they're doing.
Mhm.
I mean, they're
Even
just
though they
not
had
making.
even though they had an entire winter break, they had all of December and most of January to think about it. They just didn't do anything.
I mean, it's just. I mean, I don't know. It's just how well the show started with the first two seasons,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's like I'm not engaged with anything. Stuff
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. They kind of just add new characters just
Mm-hmm.
because, and they're not interesting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
just copy and paste for every other CW show, really.
basically, and that's
Which is
kind of what's happening. It's like
yeah,
they're turning into the same show just with different characters.
yeah. Which is why I chose not to do a segment for like that because it would just be the same thing every week and it just wouldn't be
Yeah,
interesting.
it's like yeah. So he didn't believe in himself, but then he got a pep talk in the hallway. Because you know how like every CW show when he had a pep talk, like can we talk or can we go in the hallway or
Yeah,
like
can I talk to you? Like no.
yeah.
And then later in the episode, can we talk? Okay, okay, I'll do
Yeah.
it. Like it's
Right.
just like paid by numbers superhero show. It's like
Yeah.
ugh.
It's so bad. Like in Arrow, they would always say, "Are you okay?" And
No, you have to
in
ask. They're
Flash,
not okay.
that's what I'm saying. Like they're fine. They're not fine. Like just, you're people. Do save the world. Or like right now, I know this is a topic, I know, but like in Arrow right now, like his son or whatever is mad that he's like Arrow. But I'm like,
He's
you
mad. He's the
realize,
arrow. What?
yes. You're
Okay.
not safe. Like, but you could die. I'm like, well, you realize if he doesn't do this, we all die, right?
Yeah.
Threatening to blow up the city, and he's like, Arrow to save us, so we should all just die. And I'm just like, your logic is retarded, kid.
Okay.
But oh, let me not say that was mean. Okay, not
Okay.
retarded. Sorry. No, my logic is not good.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is, I don't know,
Uh,
but it doesn't. I don't make it doesn't make sense to me. I'm done with it.
yeah.
So
Well, let's talk about something that's probably going to be good.
here we go.
So you you did know about the Crash Bandicoot trilogy that came out recently, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, a Spyro trilogy is actually in the works for this year.
Okay, I'm actually excited about that.
Mm-hmm. Um, it's just by the same studio, it's by the same people who made the Crash
Mm.
trilogy. So if they just do that again, just remake it, just do the exact same thing, just for Spyro,
You
it'll
just for
probably
Spyro,
be
yeah.
good.
Yeah, I heard about they were making like the first one, the Spyro the Dragon. They were making it for that, which I have. I think all of the old Spyro games, like the PlayStation One versions of them.
Mm-hmm.
I've played. Me and my brother played through them all, and I mean, I like Spyro. I think it's gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
I think as long as they just kind of too fancy or new, just kind of do the same thing but just update it. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah. You don't really have to add anything. Like as long as you make all three games good. I mean,
Yeah,
at least as good as they were, or even better. Like
like
I don't know.
the diversity of the world and stuff is already really cool. It's something that I was really impressed with, especially at that time. Because I
Oh yeah.
mean, no world was the same. You had different like bad guys would ever come at you. Some of them
Mm-hmm.
were really funny. Some of them are really
Yeah.
stupid, but that's a good part of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and with the resurgence of these trilogies, I kind of hope this gives Sony like a push to make more games like this
Hmm.
because they just don't really have like a mascot type character nowadays. Like they have Sackboy, I guess, but Little Big Planet 3 just kind of came and went. They have a Nathan Drake, of
Yeah,
course, but they don't
I
have that
mean, but
Mario or
I mean,
Master Chief.
Yeah, and even Master Chief is kind of like I'm not gonna say he's not bad, but like it's been a while. But I don't know, like kind of not fair because Mario. I mean, Mario's
He's,
gonna be the face of Nintendo for
he can be
as
the
long as
face of
Nintendo
gaming
exists.
forever. He's basically the face of gaming. Let's be real.
That's what I'm saying. Because I mean, that's like I mean the first like serious video game. It's like it's Mario's been doing it, and they always make new Mario games. And, there's every
Mhm.
time there's a new console, there's a new
Yeah,
like
multiple Mario games,
mul-
Mario Tennis,
yeah,
Mario
there's a
Mario
Mario
Kart.
Party is that he's always in Super Smash,
Yeah.
and like it's just I mean Mario always pretty much has his hand in that whole franchise. So I mean he's gonna be iconic
Mhm.
forever as long as they keep making Nintendo games.
Yeah, and
But I mean,
Sony just has never had anything iconic like that. Like Crash Bandicoot was almost kind
kind
of
of
there
there.
in the 90s, but not even
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
Like
And then
Spyro
it
kind of the same, but not really.
off and then yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just they had different it's just different,
Mhm.
like and I think and also with Nintendo, it's like a lot of time, at least with like all especially with like Wii specifically,
Mhm.
like if it wasn't like a Mario thing game, it
Yeah.
was not really, that great sometimes. Like
Yeah, like there definitely is different audiences for the different platforms. Like back in the 90s, Sony was more of the everyman type platform.
right.
And then in the mid 2000s, Xbox was like the hardcore gamer
Oh yeah,
platform.
aim
And
start. Yeah, like when Xbox 360 kind of like got on the scene, it kind of
yeah. And then Nintendo came like for the kids, and Sony was for the most people, like.
yeah.
And then nowadays, since Sony is doing so well, they got super cocky and they're just kind of toeing the line. They're just kind of doing their own thing.
Uh,
Which is fine, but because they're so set at at in first place, they don't really they don't really have the drive to like innovate or do anything
exactly.
new and
They're
creative.
content with where they are,
Yeah,
which is not how you're supposed to do it. You're
it's
supposed to
like
keep
it's
moving
working
up.
for them right now, but
Right.
what about in the future if the Nintendo Switch does extremely well and actually ends up surpassing the PS4, which isn't going to happen because the PS4 had an extreme an extreme lead on it, but still, if the PS5 comes out in the next like 2 or 3 years, and the Nintendo Switch would have already had at least 30 million units by then, like
I don't know.
Sony's got to do something to catch up. I just don't know if I don't think Nathan Drake or
Yeah,
Sackboy would really help them at that point.
I feel like if Sony makes a new console anytime soon, which I don't think they will for at
Mm-hmm.
least a couple of years because
Yeah,
all these
2020 at
games
the
are coming.
earliest.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But like, I feel like it's just gonna be like copy and paste, really, like just
Mm-hmm.
another updated version. Because like, I mean, what's really gonna be that much bigger or better about it,
Just
honestly?
bigger worlds, better graphics, I guess.
I mean, theoretically, but I mean, we've already got huge stuff. I mean, like,
Like consoles definitely do have limitations still,
yeah,
but they're not so drastic that a new generation is necessarily necessary. Yeah, that makes sense.
hmm. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's definitely going to take some time. I feel like until you get to the point where you can make something that makes the other thing look
Look,
like it makes what you had previously look obsolete,
mm,
I don't really think you need to like
yeah.
get to that next level yet.
And the PS4 is still selling really
Especially,
well, so they don't really have a reason to change.
yeah, and I mean they're still and I mean obviously they're still making all the new games are coming out on these platforms still. Like it's not like,
Yeah.
you know,
I just kind of wish that this like Sony being at number one would. I just kind of wish they would also innovate within what they're doing, because
mm,
since they are number one, why not just try stuff? Like, there's no reason to play it safe anymore. People are
it's
gonna
like
buy
you
the
are
PS4 regardless, so why not like try to
right.
make new characters? Why not try to make new experiences that aren't just more Last of Us or Uncharted clones or whatnot? Like, I don't know. I just kind of wish
I mean,
there was more games like Spyro and Mario and
right.
Sonic and stuff
And
like
I
that.
mean, at some point, it's at that like if it ain't broke, don't fix it,
Mhm.
which I understand. But at the other point, it's like we should always be trying to like innovate and improve. So especially with games, I mean, because like things change, you got to be
Yeah,
ready. But
yeah.
I think it's just only time will tell, depending on what they decide to do. But
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Oh well. Um. So the last thing I have on my list for us to talk about. Um. Do you have Dragon Ball Fighter Z?
I do not have it actually,
Mhm.
but I've heard it is
Which
pretty good.
okay, for the record, it's technically pronounced Dragon Ball Fighters,
Yeah,
but
but
why
I
make
mean,
the
it's
Z
it's
big?
it's
Why make the Z so big if it's not Dragon Ball
because
Fighter Z?
we know what you're talking. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
I
um.
don't know. I was actually a little. I don't want to say disappointed, but I don't. I fighting it is. I like what they're doing, but
Yeah.
I kind of like the other Dragon Ball fighting games better.
You like the more
Like
like 3D action ones?
yeah, like not necessarily like Xenoverse specifically, but like do you remember like the Tenkaichi ones?
Yeah, Budokai Inchi and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, like those were the ones that I thought were like super good. Like I
That's
mean,
fair.
even today, you can't like even today, like Budokai Tenkaichi 3, like online, you can find that for like it's gonna be like $60 to $100. And this is a
Wow.
PS2 game. Like
Okay.
I'm not even kidding. Like it's
hmm
ridiculous.
Yeah. And yeah, the I do really like the art style of Dragon Ball Fighters. Like it essentially
Mhm.
looks like the anime come to life, which
Like good.
I'm not gonna complain about.
No. Oh, I mean, how can you?
Yeah, and I feel like they got the right studio because the studio that made Dragon Ball Fighter Z, we're gonna keep calling it that, whatever. Um,
No.
they're known for making those anime style fighting games and
Right.
like the high paced, like quick, like combo heavy action
Right.
fighters. So
Like they know what they're doing, definitely.
yeah. So the reason I brought it up is because Evo, the biggest fighting game tournament in the world, they released their roster of games that are going to be there. And Dragon Ball Fighter Z, despite it coming out just last month, is actually going to be there. Yet Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was not.
Ooh.
which
Actually, that's some controversy right there.
just shows you how bad that game really is.
Yeah. But
like
I mean, the thing is though, they're expecting like with fighters, they're like, look, people are gonna get into this game. Like we know, like it's
mhm,
gonna be intense.
yeah, but
And like I mean, well,
that's how
when
Capcom.
is Evo?
When is it? Um, because it might have already happened. I'm not sure. I know there's like three different regions. There's Evo Japan, Evo America, and Evo Europe, I think. And then there's like a Grand Evo in
Okay.
June, maybe. Sometime like in the summer, maybe. I could be wrong about that. It might be March. I don't know, but it's which make if it is relatively recent, that makes it even more interesting as to why Dragon Ball Z, like Fighter Z, why that's in but not Marvel, considering Dragon Ball Fighters. You think people wouldn't really have much time to practice for it?
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like some of the like more known players might get extra time. I
Yeah,
think they'll like get games early or something like that. But
yeah,
I mean, but still, I mean, I feel like you try not to give people too much time, especially they're going to be in these serious tournaments because I mean, that's the only thing they're going to be playing for
mm, yeah.
days straight. So
But
I mean,
another interesting thing about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is that it's not going to appear in the Capcom Pro Tour, which is another like
mhm.
uh, fighting game tournament put on by Capcom themselves and only has Capcom games. It Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is not going to be there yet. MVC 3 is. So
Real. That tells you a lot, doesn't
yeah,
it?
that either shows that
Like,
Capcom realized how trash their game is, or Disney realized how trash that game is and doesn't want to have any association with it anymore, or
or
both.
both. That's what I was thinking. I was like, it's probably a little bit of both. I feel like Disney kind of knows, and Capcom kind of like, hey guys, and Disney's like, yeah, we know what you did.
And like, it's not just the story mode that's bad, because it is. The story mode's bad, but also just the characters they chose on both sides of the roster, just
Makes
there was
sense.
almost no creativity put into it. Just
Hmm.
every Marvel character is from a movie,
Right.
except for randomly Sentinel, which I didn't even know was a Marvel character until he was in BCI. Um, just randomly he for some reason. And and of course because Disney didn't have the rights at the time to the Fantastic Four and X Men,
Right.
they can't have any of those characters in the game, which just halves the roster essentially.
Yeah, that's a lot. 'Cause I remember like all the Marvel Capcom games. I mean, you would have, like Storm and Wolverine and like
Mm-hmm.
it's a
Magneto.
big part. Yeah.
Um, and I think MVC3 had over 50 characters. And to go down to only about 24 in the base game is
Like
unacceptable.
that's
Like
what but see, you know what they're gonna do, right? We talked about
DLC, DLC it up.
and it's gonna be like $5 a character, and it's
And
like that is
it's even
literally
worse
robbery.
because Black Panther and a character from Monster Hunter are in the story. Thanos, or it's not Thanos. Sigma is a major part of the story. Yet
Hmm.
all these characters. Oh, and also Venom. You fight characters that look like they were possessed by Venom symbiotes. Is part of the story.
Interesting.
Yet all of the characters I just mentioned are DLC. You actually go to
See
Wakanda
that?
in the story. Black Panther is DLC.
Right. They're making all the DLC like essential parts of the game
Mm-hmm.
are don't even come with it. And
Yeah,
like this DLC,
and Sigma,
almost
like
has
the
to buy
one
them.
of the big villains of the game,
Right.
was a pre-order bonus. Like, how did they get away with that?
Because they know people are gonna buy it regardless. And
But
some people will. I mean,
yeah,
other people not so much. I
like
mean, I never will, but
not even sure if that game has cracked a million sales yet, which is really bad for a game nowadays.
I think it has, but I
Like
don't think
Capcom
it.
wanted that game to sell 2.5 million in
Oh yeah, no,
2017.
no, there's no chance it's reaching their
No,
expectations
no,
at
like
all.
Street Fighter
But I
Five
mean,
after 2 years in the market just recently crossed that, which is again unacceptable for Street Fighter Five.
like Street Fighter's reputation is
It's insane.
like
It's like
the
the
leader of
fighting game
fighting games.
franchise for the past 30
Exactly.
years.
That's what I'm saying. Like this is this is the fighting game for as long for generations,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's
Just Capcom just stopped trying. And then I don't know why they decided to make that same team that made Street Fighter Five develop Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I don't understand why they decided to do that when no one played Street Fighter. Why they think that'd be a good team to develop in VCI?
probably I don't know. Maybe they were just like relying too much on like the name
Name
brand because I
recognition.
mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because
Yeah.
like any game with those names on it, like you call a game Street Fighter, it's
Yeah.
like I mean, people are gonna go for it, but then
People are
you
gonna get
realize
hyped, but
this game's trash. Yeah, but this game's trash.
although there's actually like a fan theory type thing where Capcom knew this game wasn't the best, so they called it Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and not MVC4, so that when the next one comes out, they can call that one MVC4 and just keep going from there.
Yeah, I just not mention the other bad guy. I mean, that's possible. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've heard companies doing stuff like that before because like they know it's about to be a blunder, so they just kind of just sweep it under the rug
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
But
And
I mean, if that's what they're doing, I just hope they make a better game
yeah.
and that people forget about this one.
And what's weird is that they actually re-released NVC3 on the PlayStation Store shortly before Infinite came out.
So that fan theory actually has something behind it now because if they re-release three, then it's like now it's like four could be priming.
Like, why would you? But if they did know that Infinite was so bad, why would they release MVC3 before it came out, giving people an option to just not buy Infinite, considering three had a much bigger roster and was a much
Right.
better game, much better balancing. Like, I don't know.
I mean, their logic is not probably
Yeah,
ideal, yeah, unless there's some kind of plan here, which I don't think there is,
I
but I
doubt
don't
it.
really know.
Capcom has kind of been struggling
But
for
I
for a
don't
couple
know.
of years now when it comes to a lot of things.
It's my kingdom. Yeah, it's
Like Monster Hunter is really the only thing that's keeping them really
above
like
water.
afloat nowadays.
Yeah, but I mean, as long as you're still above, but I mean, it's
Yeah,
getting kind of,
and kind of iffy. But
but we'll see. Yeah,
so
definitely get to see.
so we'll see if Infinite can somehow redeem itself down the line. After they reveal the Ultimate Edition next year, which they're going to do because they're Capcom.
Yeah, they are. And, but I mean, and that's probably one of the reasons why a lot of people didn't buy it also, because like
Mm,
they know they're just gonna make the other edition with
yeah.
all the stuff. Without all this stuff you have to buy,
Mm,
so you might as well just save. Because like, and that's the thing. I'm like, the people that bought the game and then bought all the DLC, they're just gonna feel cheated out of like,
oh yeah. Like me and my roommate,
like
we
good.
loved playing the first Injustice game, but we just haven't bought Injustice 2
Mm,
yet because we know at some point the Ultimate Edition is gonna come out.
right.
Like I'd be surprised if they don't announce it at E3 or something. Like,
That's what I'm saying. And then it's just you're gonna get all the stuff, without having to pay all the DLC.
mm-hmm. Yeah, so get it for
That's
60
what I'm saying.
bucks, or even wait another year and get it for
Right.
40 or less. Because we got
Probably less, to be honest.
we got Injustice the Injustice Ultimate Edition, the first one, I think for about 20
Mm.
bucks with all the DLC and stuff
Really?
included. So and
All
that was
the
after it was
DLC.
out for a
Oh
couple of
my
years, but
God.
still, like we
That's
wait a
still
year
that's
or
what I'm
two.
saying.
We wait a
Just
year or two, we could get Injustice. Even if the Ultimate Edition doesn't come out, we could get Injustice 2 by all the DLC and it still be less than 60 bucks. So there's no real reason to buy it right now.
no. I mean, that's the thing. It's like the people that buy it now, I'm just like, why are you gonna do that? Like, just gonna make a new version that has everything you just bought with DLC.
Yeah. And I could
Just
buy
like,
I could buy Injustice 1 on the PS4 and it actually has more characters for
right,
way less money than the base Injustice. I don't know why you would.
exactly. And like, it's not like it's a bad game either. Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
not.
know. I
From
don't
what I can tell, it's not a bad game.
know.
Just the shady business practices of forcing people to pay
But
for some of the most more beloved
it's
characters.
shady, but it's like almost like why would you fall for it if you know how this is gonna end? Like if you pay
Yeah,
attention, you shouldn't fall for it.
yeah, and also like WB has every reason to do this. Capcom has every reason to do this. It makes financial sense to do this,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
but it's not exactly the best for the consumer. But they're the
But I
big
mean,
company. I guess I don't know what
I'm
I'm
about to
talking
say, who
about.
cares about the customer anymore? Honestly, I mean,
Yeah.
with all the no, I mean, right now, money is definitely the biggest concern
Oh
for me.
yeah.
Look at EA. I mean, do you
Oh
think they really care about the
no,
company? Like,
no,
come on. Like, I
they
mean,
don't
like,
care about the customer.
they don't care. That's what I'm saying. They all they care about is making the most money, and oh, you can earn your characters by sucking your
You can have
soul to
pride
this
and
thing.
accomplishment in knowing that you earned this. Like shut up.
Like, go home, go. What is that? Like,
Steve.
I mean, it's one thing to play a certain number of hours and get it, or like a certain number of kills, but like putting ridiculously high numbers up there, I mean, that just
Essentially
ruins
forcing
it.
people to pay for it. Like
Yeah,
that's just
it's like,
wrong.
oh, it's optional to pay for it, but it's
No,
like,
not really.
yeah,
Not really.
it's not really. You're not really giving me a choice. It's either, play this game until I'm 25
Mm.
or, just buy it now.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to talk about that we didn't cover?
Um, I think we went over everything. We went over the Incredibles. We went over that. We went over this. I don't think there's anything new that I've heard. Oh, it's Bruce Wayne's birthday. Just throwing that out
Oh
there
yeah, it
because
is. Cool.
in fictional history. But
Okay.
yeah, other than that, I
Do
couldn't
we
think of anything.
do we know the date that his parents died? Is it the same day?
It is not the same day
Okay.
because I don't think the date they died is told in comics. I don't know. Let me see.
Not like significant enough.
I don't. I mean, it might be. I just don't know it off the top of my. Let me see.
Because I know like they died at like 10:43 or something like that, and
Yeah, and
Batman
that's
like
like the
turns the
clock,
clock to that time to go down to the
which
Batcave.
I've never seen him do in like anything.
That was probably like a '60s thing that they
Oh,
just.
okay.
Hmm?
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. Okay, according to the New 52, it's June 26th
June 26th.
at 10. Yeah, June 26th at 10:27.
Ah, I was close. Okay.
So, like that's the
Which
date.
which
So.
actually brings up a question like, so twice a day is the Batcave just open?
Randomly, yeah. I've thought about that too. I've thought about that. Like, so if you try that, like, does it just randomly open?
or or
You
does he
like
have to like be
manually.
standing in a certain place for it to actually activate? Like that's I'm not sure if
That's
he
what
thought
I'm
that
saying. I
through.
feel like you. I feel like it has to like be manually changed. Like, you have to actually like put his fingers to like move it, and
Yeah.
then like. Or my thing is like, why don't you just put a password on, or like a retinal scan or something? Like, why actually like
Uh,
that's almost too practical. Or like make the password
Password?
like
Password.
something Batman would definitely do. Yes,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Super
but
genius. He would totally do that.
oh,
No one would
I
think of
mean,
it. No one would think of it. It's so
to
obvious
be
they wouldn't do it.
fair, I would not say password. I mean, it'd be like, no, Batman's not going to put
He's
password as his password. It's like access granted. What?
what? What is the password? I can't think of what the password is. Access granted.
Seriously?
Really?
No, but we all know what the real password is.
I'm Batman.
Sucks.
What?
Iron Man sucks.
Oh right. Right.
Lego Batman. That was such a good movie.
Oh yeah.
Uh, yeah. But no, I think that covers just about everything.
Okay. Well, if that's it, we'll see you next time to talk about whatever nerdy stuff comes up next week. See ya.